Peace. What a concept, folks. How are we all doing, all you beautiful people, folks? Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a Friday night chill stream. We're just getting started this evening, folks. I hope all of you are here happy, healthy, much the wiser. God bless, folks. You know, while you're all gathering in, we're going to get into a very fun video that I really enjoy. But, folks, let's just get right into it, shall we, folks? Without further ado, this is me, Tony, and Chicken. Howdy, Alesto. Howdy, Alesto. No good rapscallion. I will get that ready here shortly. In the meantime, here, you beautiful bastards. Yeah, I gotta go get my glasses now. I was not even ready for that one. Here is this review of Victor's 10-year. Thanks, Alesto. God bless. Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very anticipated Spirits review of Michter's 10-year ride. Folks, I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes you the podcast tower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands. One damn handsome man, if I do say so myself. And you can, of course, find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. And I am joined this evening by my indomitable broadcast partners in inebriation. The one, the only,
your big bucket emperor, 10-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, 10-year. Oh, it's like a match made in heaven. I'm so excited.
It's like it was meant to be.
Yeah. And of course,
the 15-time quadruple distilled, non-chill filtered Tony fucking G, a decade of feeling all right. The Blend Master is so super duper uber stoked to finally try the illustrious unicorn bottle that is Michter's 10-year ride.
Ooh, so this has been brought to Compound G by...
Open the damn bottle!
Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah.
Get the backstory. I'll start opening and pouring.
Yes. There we go. I don't want to talk. So this bottle was brought to us to Compound G by one chicken extraordinaire.
Ooh, that was kind of weak.
Yeah, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to try it now.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Cut it. We're done.
Just chicken, like just one for my homies the whole life.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I've got other bottles that I prefer to do
Like,
that
I
with.
think that would be the easiest way to generate the most internet hate possible.
Just crack
Like,
it,
just-
dump it.
Yeah, like what the? Like, yeah, that would be right. Like, so, anyways,
Oh, God.
Chicken, you won this, and
Got a Hy-Vee raffle in Sioux Falls. So,
Shh. Now half the Midwest is heading that way. Chicken.
Oh no, you have better luck in Iowa. Go to Iowa.
True.
Tony, would you like to read
I
more
shall.
about?
Again, Michter's single barrel 10-year Kentucky straight rye. This is 46.4 ABV, 92.8 proof. Michter's pre-Revolutionary War quality standards. We're proud to offer you our rare 10-year-old single barrel straight rye whiskey. In the Michter's tradition, hailing from one of America's first distillers, this whiskey is made from highest quality American rye and aged for 10 years in a hand-selected charred white oak barrel until it meets our exceptional quality standards. It is then further mellowed by our signature filtration.
Okay.
I like the filtration.
Unless it goes through Phil, it just ain't worth it.
So the Michter's Standard Rye was one of those
spectacular
bottles that
we thought it was going to win the rye tournament.
Well, yeah, I still can't believe it didn't. When we first tried that, I bought that bottle. I'd seen a lot of people rave about it, and you and I were blown away when we did the review. And it's one of those whiskeys that really changed over the course of the entire bottle, and I would assume this will be no different.
Well, now, Tony, all that being said, which we're not there yet, folks, don't worry. Take that up to your nose.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
I'm saying this with no exaggeration. This is the best rye nose I have ever smelled.
Yeah, before that, it was the regular Michter's, I think. Like, because for me, it was Michter's standard rye.
Yeah, I think the only nose that I just for my personal was the Woodford store pick from Spirit World in
yeah.
Omaha. But
Tony didn't care for that one. If you don't remember the diaper,
he liked
conversation.
it. He just didn't like that it eliminated all of his favorite ryes.
And the diaper thing.
Like you gotta say that thing put a shock and awe campaign on the Wild Turkey Distillery. Okay,
Go back and watch that one. You'll
Yeah.
enjoy.
link in the description to.
Sorry, I was so descriptive.
Yeah, but
Very.
now back to this whiskey here, guys. We've nosed a lot of ryes.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
This is
Top
by
5.
Oh, this is
Like,
by far one of
Maybe
the,
there's
one of
one
the
or
best.
maybe there's one or two that we're forgetting that we thought was better, but this is probably the best rye nose I've ever smelled.
I love Angel Envy rye. The nose on that, it is very sugary and sweet, but you can still tell it's a rye. This one's not necessarily that sugary sweetness cereal that you get with Angel Envy.
Yeah,
but
there's a sugar,
there
there's
is
a sweet to the nose, but it's almost
Yeah.
like
this is orchard fruit. This
Yes.
is chocolate. This is caramel.
perfect.
okay.
It's like an apple covered and dipped
Okay.
in chocolate. And
Actually,
caramel.
guys, this is going to be very specific.
Granny Smith's.
Okay.
Yeah.
There only certain people are going to kind of know what I'm saying here, but there's
Oh.
certain really high-end bougie restaurants that you'll see like literally like sugar crusted flowers.
Okay.
And that's the first thing that like came to my mind was those bougie restaurants with the flowers that they literally put candied sugar on just so it gives this extra
Yeah.
and that's where my mind goes.
Shall we?
Yeah.
I think we've I
Yeah.
think we've said enough.
Cheers.
Slanjiva.
Oh wow.
It's got a strong kick and bite the whole time.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
It
This
takes
is
a
our-
second to hit, but when it does, it's there.
This is my first drink of the day.
Oh,
so
man. Same.
it's not fair to give all but
Wow.
let me say from first drink of the day, it starts off as
man.
like a dark bourbon,
Mhm.
but then it ends with all those rye minty notes that
Yes.
you're used to,
Yeah.
but a lot more muted. And it's none of that like toothpaste that you get from bad ryes.
Right.
This is
It almost has like a Chardonnay dryness to it too.
I like that. That's good.
Like I
Yeah.
want water right now.
okay. The
Like,
second time I went through it, there's like the oak comes through heavy.
I was thinking the oak came through heavy on the first one myself, but man alive, like there's like with the Michter's
second time, big time.
the
Ooh, yeah, that's
Michter's
good.
standard rye.
Yeah, your second drink, you're almost. Am I like
Very
drinking
soft.
an oaky bourbon for a few
Mhm.
seconds?
This is a lot less soft than the standard rye. There's no mistake here. Like you could almost confuse people with the Michter standard rye and what they're drinking, depending on what neck of the bottle you're drinking. Like there's no mistake here. This is a rye through and through. But yeah, that 10-year age statement, you get that with the oak for sure. But that mintiness, there's a sharp edge, but there's a dark chocolate there that I'm just in love with.
Almost like it almost gets you that thin mint aftertaste.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now,
It's
guys,
like a junior mint.
Yeah.
before we get into anything here, let me just say that now it will be a Herculean feat if it's actually able to. But if this is
Wow.
able to last till the next rye tournament,
This is a strong contender.
like the minute I
That's
took,
incredible.
before I even tasted, the minute I took a nose, like, yep, this is making it to the final four.
That's incredible.
We'll reference this video later. But yeah, the minute I took a nose, like, remember the first time we tried Wine, Beer, and Spirits Woodford Double Oak store pick? And we both knew that, yep. This is gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
kind
it
of-
was.
Well, yeah,
there
it
was
was-
no question.
It was a fiat complete at that point. And this one is,
This has got a very. It's not. There's a spiciness here. There's a floral spice that you get with rye, but this one is so non-intrusive. It's very inviting as a spice. Like this is very Christmassy spice.
I will say, in terms of spice, this gets my personal Dune endorsement of the spice must flow. Yes, it's
Wow.
that good.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, this is spice that flows, and it flows beautifully. And it's not offensive to the palate because let's
No,
be frank,
not at
guys.
all.
No.
There's some that like, okay, what's the alcohol by volume here again? 46.4, not too bad. At least it's above 40.
Yeah.
It's 10 years old. This bites a lot harder than 46 in terms of ABV, but it's all the flavor ride. It's not really the the ethanol that's burning
Agreed.
you. It's
Yep.
You're getting burned by oak.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of fascinating. Now, gentlemen, we
Get
come
into the
to the
grading.
very difficult part
Oh,
of this,
man.
the grading. For those who do not know, we grade on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E Nation has advised you will. So we're going to grade this as a rye whiskey. As a whiskey. As a cask-aged spirit, it's shelving. And for those new to the show, the secret 5th question. So, as a rye whiskey. Chicken, since this is your bottle, I'm going to let you open this up.
I'm gonna kick it right off pretty high for a rye. This is top-notch rye. 4.75.
Yep. Tony?
Yeah, you kind of just. I'm with you. 4.75. Like
I just gotta see if I got a duck before Phil.
Yeah, no, I 4.75 for me for sure, because this. I know there's ryes out there that I have a little higher expectations for, but this met and
Like
exceeded
what?
them. Well, specifically the toasted version of this.
I'm excited to try the toasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came this close.
Yeah. Okay. Because there is a toasted version.
That's why I'm not
I'm
ready to
going
give it
to
5.
give. I'm not. You ain't got to worry about the ducks, because I'm going to give this 4.95
Oh, wow. Okay.
and a 5-star. So
You still did say 5 though, technically.
bam, 4.95. Thank you.
There it is.
But because the toasted would be insane, boys. But moving right along to whiskey. This is much more wide world of sports.
Hmm.
Allow me to
Go ahead.
rip this Band-Aid off, because there's some folks that don't like rye. Just
Right.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you try to do. This is a very particular one, and you have to be seasoned. Like, don't start any if you're like, all right, son,
That's
you
fair.
turned 21. It's
Yeah.
time for me to pour you. Don't start them with this.
No, that's
They're not even
fair.
going to know what to make of it. Like, it's so I would say 4 stars as a whiskey.
I was kind of going along those same lines. Whether you want to like talk about cocktailing, I wouldn't
No.
cocktail this, but you could. Like, there's a few
Mm.
things you could do with this, especially I myself like ryes when it comes to like old fashions. I like that extra spice at the end of an old fashioned. So this would do excellent.
I know,
But it's probably not high enough proof.
the
Nah.
entire state of Kentucky would almost want to kick me out of their state for saying this, but Teddy Roosevelt always liked to make mint juleps,
Yeah.
but he used
Oh, yeah,
rye
this-
whiskey
Yeah, this would.
instead of bourbon because he was a
Yep.
Northeasterner. And so this, if you had like fresh mint leaves, like you were trying it like it mattered, like
Mm.
that kind of a mint julep cocktail, that would be the whiskey that I would recommend for like, all right, honey, the president's coming over and they'd like a mint, and he'd like a mint julep. Can we bust out the top shelf stuff. Spoiler. So tell
But
me.
I'm gonna give it a 4 as well.
I'm going to agree 4 stars, because even though this is, you're right, specific, and it is a rye, not everybody loves that. Like this is good enough as a whiskey that, like I said, the spice it's there and the oak is there, but it's not overwhelming. It's not overbearing. If somebody wasn't even used to that, they'd notice it a lot more, but I don't think they'd be quite as turned off by it as a lot of other whiskeys that have that heavy oak and that heavy spice. So I think this is a good introduction to those flavors. It just wouldn't be fair to do it as an introduction. So 4 stars.
Now, as a cask aged spirit, Tony,
4.5, because this is proof. This is proof that taking your introductory standard bottle, your standard whiskey, and aging it further and seeing what comes of it works wonders. Aging process on full display here.
Going I'm close to that. Like during the rye tournament, we had so many like 6-year and different age statements. We kept saying like, man, why didn't they do a 10?
Yeah.
Like 10 seems to be the magic number for rye, to where you don't overdo it and it comes out great, with some exceptions. Templeton wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be at 10 year, but 10 on this is beautiful.
Wonders.
It works great. I think the age statement, and as somebody who does enjoy ryes and understands the complexity and what you're getting out of it ahead of time, if you know what you're getting into and you're up for that age statement of 10 years, I think that's everything in the bottle. I'm gonna 4.5.
There you go.
You know what? It's the Christmas season. It's all about togetherness. It's all about agreement and peace on earth and unity and all that. I'm going to agree with you guys.
Okay.
4.5 stars as a cask aged spirit. This is art and cask aging.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the easiest question. Shelvin.
Top.
Definitely top. Conversation piece, and well,
Yeah, if this
it
was
burned a hole in my pocket. So what's going on?
yeah, that will get so yeah, it'd be top shelf for me. And that actually, that little point there segues into our next question, the secret fifth question, which is when this bottle runs empty, will you seek another? Now, Chicken, what did this cost you USD in this year of our Lord 2023?
Before tax, $199 for this bottle. And yes, if I have the chance, this is a unicorn. It is hard to get. It is hard to find. And
It tastes like unicorn tears.
yeah, it does. I've been, hunting for over 4 years
Tony
now,
actually
and
finished the drink.
Well, that's
That's an endorsement.
this is the first time I've had the opportunity to buy this. I don't see this in the wild. I only see this in raffles or you have to like work to get to this bottle. You don't see this on a shelf usually. So yeah, definitely if I have the chance, I'll grab another.
Yeah, I actually saw a spot where this was supposed to be on the shelf in the airport in Las Vegas for about $250, and it was gone. So I didn't have the chance, and it would have been hard for me to walk away even at that price. And now knowing what it tastes like,
I would have paid
I got a
$250.
feeling like, yeah,
Yeah.
Tony, knowing you, you'd pay up to 2, not quite 3.
yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah. So I was about to say at $200. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a grab. That's a grab because, let's be frank, guys. Until the production ramps up and it's like so common, like with all these allocated
Yes.
bottles that they're so common that's like Crown Royal. Until then, we're probably only going to see like 2 or 3 more of these until such a time. But it's coming, folks. Don't worry about it. Crown Royal used to be allocated. There's a secondary market in Crown Royal too back in the 70s and 80s. So now
That's crazy.
yeah. But hey, everything
It worked. Now they're
goes
one of the
through its
most
cycles.
popular Canadian whiskeys. It worked.
Yeah, now you can buy it in almost every gas station in God's creation.
Indeed.
So, I can only hope William LaRue Weller goes that way.
Oh,
That'd be a
terrible.
damn shame.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
no.
That would just be terrible.
Yeah.
It just breaks my heart. So, gentlemen, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us on this very special review of Michter's 10-year-old Kentucky straight rye whiskey. Oh, Lord Chicken, thank you for including us in
Of
this
course.
little shindig, what have you. This was amazing. Thank you, sir. Tony, Chicken, anything else you'd like to say to the people?
Oh, Tony, thanks for having us over and
course.
having us over in Castle G.
Ah,
All for one and one for all, gents.
Yes, appreciate you. Love you.
hoorah. My glass is empty.
Yeah, so's mine.
I had a drop left. I'll lick it
Gee,
out.
will you go?
Lick
give
it
us
out.
these- Yes. How are we all doing, you fine people out there in the K.O.E. Nation, folks? It is now a proper introduction. It is I, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands. One damn heads, man, if I do say so myself. Folks, we are here at the K.O.E. Nation for the Friday Night Chill stream. I just, needed that one to get me out of the shower. I'm feeling good, folks. I'm feeling marvelous. It was a dusty day in the mill, and now I'm here with all you beautiful people. So we're going to do a chill stream tonight. We're just having fun. If you got any requests or something you'd like to talk about, drop it in the video and we're just going to have a chill night. Now, we're going to get into something that I enjoyed thoroughly. last year, I took my daughter to the actual South Park, Colorado, the real live South Park. It's a place called Fairplay, Colorado, that's right next to a derelict town called South Park City. And while we were there, we stopped at all the tourist traps. And there's a distillery there called Snitching Lady Distillery, where there's actual blue corn whiskey from South Park, Colorado. Yes, folks. Indeed, as you can see, yes, South Park corn whiskey. So without further ado, let's get into this one as well while we figure out what shape tonight's entertainment is going to take. Heading on down to South Park. Gonna have myself a time.
Sugar my chocolate salty bars.
Perfect. Folks, welcome one and all to the K.O.E. Nation for
I'm gonna make love to you, woman.
Gonna lay
Down, 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 fire.
Folks, I am your King of Extreme Phil, K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. And I am joined this evening by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
The 15-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, non-chill filter, quadruple distilled, and the blend master of ceremonies himself, Tony fucking G. And you can find me on all my podcasts and socials at Linktree/Tony the Rock. And we are here for an interesting one that I'm not even have read the bottle, haven't looked at it too in depth. This is as surprising as anything I can have tonight. Hopefully it'll be better than a couple I've had, but I doubt it'll be as good as some of the others I've had. Some interesting
we got
blue
here
whiskey.
made from traditional sour mash, Buttons Blue corn whiskey.
Butter's blue, yes.
Made with blue corn, Mr. Buttons.
All right, Dan. Looks like so to me.
But age a minimum of 32 months. Snitching Lady.
What?
Yeah, 32 months. Well, hang on.
Month specific. Yes. Love it.
Snitching Lady Distillery in
Wow.
Fairplay, Colorado. Now, for those who know, Fairplay is the actual South Park. It's the town
If
that
you
they
didn't
actually...
get the subtle hints.
Yes, we were being very subtle about it.
Very subtle.
Now, I actually picked this bottle up
Integrity.
when I took my daughter up to South Park. We just wanted to see it. So I said, yeah, let's go. And just kind of went there as a lark. Okay, the drive into Fairplay, Colorado, some of the most beautiful expanse in all God's creation you will ever see. Like the drive in is better than actually being there. Okay, like that is really something to behold. But I went to the liquor store there and said, what's something that you can only get locally? They said, well, this is made here in town. Oh,
And that.
yeah, so this is 100 proof. SIP Award 2019 gold. And on the back here, Mr. Buttons doesn't want to lead. He wants to serve. And serve you he will with this fine corn whiskey made from blue corn varieties. Native to our great land, copper pot distilled with pure snow melt from the high in the Rocky Mountains. Snitching Lady Distillery Blue Corn Whiskey brings together quality Colorado ingredients and time-honored American distilling techniques. Distilled by TW, batch number 45.
45.
Now, it's got a rope and some blue wax here, so we're going to see how well this works or if I'm going to need to get tools out.
Hey, if it's depressed, it can just...
Might actually be able to get this off. Maybe. We'll see.
Well, it's sticking like 90% out of the bottle now, so I would hope it'd pop right out.
Okay.
Well, that sucked ass.
Well, God, Mr.
Oh, I'm
Judge
sorry.
over here.
When you hear cork pop, do you think...
Well, we're about to find out here, T, what we got on our hands. So this is a corn whiskey made from blue corn, and boy, does it smell it. What? That's...
Ooh. Oh my God, that is... Wow, I don't even have to get near the glass.
And yeah, you can smell
Wow, 100 proof. It's got a cat,
Mr. Buttons.
Mr. Buttons, on the label, and he's at a press conference, and it's in black and white.
He's running for president.
That's beautiful.
Clearly. Now, he's running against me, Phil K.O.E., so he's got no chance.
Right.
But there we go. So,
Long hill to climb.
so South Park's own corn whiskey.
Holy.
That smells like popcorn butter.
freaking hell. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Holy shit.
That's interesting.
Oh man, you can get a good nose of this from like here.
That's no kidding.
This is
It's corn with a little bit of oily butter on the back.
this is the buttered popcorn jelly beans.
No, you're talking about like the Simpsons? But
No.
Mr. Simpson, we can't put butter on the milk duds.
No, not Simpsons did it. No, the Jelly Belly buttered popcorn jelly beans.
Never had those.
That's what they smell like.
Sanjiva. See how this goes down?
Okay.
There's sort of like a bitter on the front,
Yeah.
and then it kind of subsides to just like kind of a flat cornbread on the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Not.
Not like it. You're trying to figure out if you love it or hate it, don't you?
That's my facial expression. Yes.
Trying to figure out do I love this or do I hate this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's qualities there,
That are great.
like the Howard Hooch qualities,
Yeah. And then there's some weird
and then
bitterness.
there's like we've all been there. You find the bottle of mellow corn that the homeless guy peed in the alleyway. You drink it, and
No, we haven't all been there.
oh. But
So
you can
anyways,
imagine if you had.
Moving on. But yeah, there's a funk here,
There is a funk.
but that is always
Funk
something
You up. Uptown, funk you up.
that's something you always run the risk of whenever you do 100% corn. Is
Yeah.
if it's 80% corn, it's sweet. But if you go over, it becomes bitter. And so this
There's
is one
some
that
bitter
they're
here.
dealing with. But I really feel like with a cream soda, this would mix quite well.
Yeah, this is a good base. It's there. This isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. I pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, if you're on the frontier and this is the only corn whiskey you had,
Oh hell yeah!
you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
No, this is it's not offensive by any means.
Now, me again, this is kind of a memento from when I took my daughter to South Park, and
Sure.
honestly, if you go to Fairplay, Colorado, there's about an afternoon's worth of stuff to do there. And but other than that, had a great time. Left kind of early. Went to Estes, where we always go. But this is kind of a memento from that trip because
Sure.
we just kind of like, you know what, we're doing it, we're going, and now it's a trip we still talk about to this day.
There you go.
But the whiskey, now I am planning on entering this into the eventual corn whiskey tournament because this is going to be a Colorado entrant.
Okay, all right.
I know, but hey, it's South Park, T. And we had ourselves a time, and we did find friendly faces everywhere, humble folks with minimal temptation, and also convenient 24-hour animal parking, okay? So, in honor of that trip, you know,
Thanks for sponsoring us, Tom's Random.
thank you. Now, T, as those within the audience know,
Of course.
as the many millions of KOE fans know, we grade every whiskey on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle out this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The KOE Nation is advised you well. Tony's got he dances to it because my voice is just so musical.
I can just imagine this playing to Uptown Funky or whatever that
Oh.
song is
So,
that you use.
Tony, we're going to grade this as a corn whiskey
Okay.
As a whiskey, as a cask-aged spirit, it's shelving. And for those new to the show, the secret fifth question. So, Tony G, as a corn whiskey.
As a corn whiskey, I've had several. This is not offensive in that regard. I will go 3.5 as a corn whiskey.
I'll go 3.25.
It's a nice, sweet, approachable, 100 proof. It's good.
It'll get the job done.
It will.
Yeah, it'll definitely do that.
Absolutely.
Now, as a whiskey.
As a whiskey, I'm gonna go 1.75 because this would be a wonderful base mixer.
Because of its mixing, I'm going to go 2.25.
Okay.
2.25.
After 2, then perfect.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, as a cask-aged spirit, it at least has the
100 proof.
good grace to tell us aged minimum 32 months.
32 months.
So
Gonna go.
not quite 3 years.
Gonna go 1.25 cask because that's when you gotta dictate by month. It's almost like they're like we went above and beyond in some regards, but in others, yeah, maybe release the beast a little too soon, huh?
I don't know. I'm going to go 1.75.
Okay.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit because now in the world of cask age, it's a wide world of sports, folks.
Indeed.
So now it's shelving.
Ah,
Let me just rip this band-aid off. It's my bottle. It will be on the bottom shelf.
it's a bottom.
It's a corn whiskey, like most of them
Yeah.
are top shelf.
Not gonna be. Yeah, no, sorry. It's gonna be hard pressed for a corn whiskey like this to even break the middle shelf.
All right. Now, the secret question. When this
Yeah.
bottle runs empty, will I seek another? I paid, I believe it was between $30 and $40.
That's steep for.
No, it's the tourists, like it is kind of a, hey, you're here in South Park. Here's a thing that's made in South Park.
Sorry, but this is one of those things that Nebraska just does better than all the surrounding states is corn whiskey.
Yeah.
Sorry, South Dakota, Iowa, Colorado, and Kansas, but Howard Hooch is.
Yeah, and they do have other products from this distillery. So
Okay.
if I'm ever in South Park again, I'll probably get something else from this distillery.
I
to give it
would
a shot.
think, yeah.
So, well, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all of that being said, thank you for joining us here at the KOE Nation, and thank you to Fair Play Colorado, because you sure did show us a time. And God bless every last one of you. I hope all of you make it back here to the KOE Nation happy, healthy, much the wiser. Tony G, take it away.
Here at KOE Nation, we're all about integrity.
How are we all doing? Ben taking a fill. Yes. Because that, just anything great, you can define it as a fill. How are we doing, all you beautiful folks, this evening? I decided the way that we're going to get into tonight's entertainment, because I got a couple of bottles that I've been meaning to review that are going to get empty soon. So we're going to get into those. But first, for tonight's entertainment, I was thinking about different varying ways to go. Now, tomorrow night, if I get streaming, I'm going to get an early start and do the entire ride tournament, that's going to take up like 6-7 hours. So we're not doing that tonight, though. Tonight, we're going to get into the different varying rum and tequila reviews for just a little bit, because we got the Rocks Terramana tequila. We've got me and good friend Ash. Me and her do a tribute to Black Tot Day, the last day that a rum ration was given to British sailors, and all kinds of fun stuff that's in the rum and tequila reviews. And it's only a couple of short videos. We haven't gone that deep into it, but I figured now is the best time to get a start on it, folks. And we're going to start with one that's actually me and Tony's personal favorite, Ron Zacapa Sistema Solera 23-year Guatemalan rum. Now, there's kind of an interesting synchronicity here. The reason why this is our favorite rum isn't just because it's delicious and marvelous and it goes down so easy. It's also the fact that I picked this up because my daughter's part Guatemalan. And I was like, okay, let's check this out. And then me and Tony, we drank almost a full bottle of this, just talking about life and truth one night. And that's the night that he lets me know that his wife is pregnant again. And that's their 4th child, which was his first daughter. So for us, this kind of is a strange synchronicity of like, it was what we discussed our daughters with, is over this particular rum. And so this one has a very special place in my heart, and that is the first rum that you're going to see this evening, folks. And yeah, if you got any questions, any comments, any requests, let me know. And I'm going to interrupt at some point in all this beauty to give you a brand new, exclusive, never before seen reviews of K.O.E Nation whiskey. So let's get rolling. Well, no, it's K.O.E Nation reviews of whiskey, rather. That's a bit better. Without further ado, let's get right into this rum review. Welcome, one and all, to a bottle-killing review of Ron Zacapa 23-year Sistema Solera Guatemalan rum. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., joined by my indomitable broadcast partners in inebriation, the one, the only, Blade, and the one, the only,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe.
Here we are to do the bottle killing of this Ron Zacapa 23 Guatemalan rum. Now, the reason why this one's kind of special to you and me, T, is this was actually the bottle that you and I'd say we got it down to about here the night you told me you were going to have another child.
That's right.
Number 4.
You're having a 4th?
Yes, I am.
Possibly
Yes.
5th.
No, don't even.
Possibly 5th.
Don't put that voodoo on me. Don't do that.
You did it once. You can do it twice.
I was
I believe in
basically.
you.
I was basically one foot out the door that night. I was like, let's just try this, and we tried it, and we enjoyed it so much. I'm like, all right, Phil, let's get deep and talk about feelings and such. And we did, and I told him about that. And yeah, we enjoyed this bottle a lot, and I am quite eager to see if it meets back to those lofty expectations.
Yes.
You said it's a Guatemalan rum, correct?
Yes. Now, gentlemen, consider this bottle killed.
It is.
It's gone.
Here, let's just tip it. I'm going to tip it. You go ahead. This is Guatemalan rum.
Yes. The reason I picked it up initially is my daughter is part Guatemalan. So I was trying to find a spirit that would, have something to do with that. And what's interesting is this little weave here is actually weaved by women who are actually descended from the Mayans, from a village of folks who are descended from the Mayans. And this weave is actually the Mayan symbol for harmony of space and time. So I just found that really interesting that you're kind of, and also this is from pure pressed cane sugar. It's not from distilled molasses. And the entire process takes place on a mountain where they try to keep it about 67 degrees. So
very specific.
Yeah, and so they even recommend if you chill it, to chill it to 67 degrees and really not much more.
It smells really nice, and yeah, the sweetness is very specific. Oh yeah, I really like it.
What do you make of it, sir? First taste?
Well, I just did a quick. Let me get a full taste. I apologize.
Well, I think it's time. I mean, it's going to smell like sweetness and sugar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice.
So these are the things that pirates rummaged for. Was this rum?
Stuff like this, yes. Yeah. Pirates, the British Royal Navy. Video about that coming up soon.
This is what they wanted.
Yeah.
This is exactly what they wanted. There's no rum that I've ever tasted that compares to this.
Yeah.
And the fact that it has something personal to you makes it even
This is
that much better.
standalone
Yep.
rum, in my opinion. This is
Yeah.
very good.
I picked it out for that one reason. And then Tony and I Tony and I had a heart to heart. He's telling me he's having another kid. It's one of those big chapters in his life.
Thank you, indeed.
And it just, so in that way, the Ron Zacapa Guatemalan rum will always kind of have a special place for me and T.
Sure.
Fascinating stuff. So let's grade this on as a rum, as a cask aged spirit, and then shelve it. So as a rum, all the rums you've ever had.
As a rum, I typically think of mixers when I think rum. I don't think of a lot of neat or on the rocks drinks when I'm thinking of rum. So this one's specific and it's special in that regard. I'm going to give it a 3.7. I might even give it a 4 on a rum scale because it's so smooth as a rum that you don't have to mix this. This is perfectly good neat. It's perfectly smooth. There's no bite. There's no lingering alcohol flavoring. You can drink this neat and be perfectly happy with it. So I think this is a 4-star rum.
Well, and backing up everything you just said, that's what throws me off to why didn't you give it a 5? Because most rums, you have to put a mixer in it.
And that is a solid point.
Rums are normally a mixer. So I'm giving it, I feel like I'm gonna do a K.O.E. I'm gonna go with 6.
6 stars as a rum.
You've convinced me.
Damn.
You've convinced me. This is a 4.5-star rum. You're
And
right.
You don't have to mix it.
You're
You don't
I
have to mix
thought
it.
I was going to be a little too generous at giving it 5 stars as a rum, but nope. He's surpassed at giving it 6 because this is a great rum.
Yeah.
You can sip it neat. I have mixed it. Guess what? It's
Delicious.
freaking amazing. Like it doesn't really. You can mix it with fruit juice, with sodas, whatever.
Well, all rums are amazing, but the fact that you
Not
can
all of them. Not all of them.
No. That's
Yeah.
well, if you want to get drunk, they're all amazing. But the fact that you don't have to try with this one shows that they put the effort in.
yeah. You can.
And they stayed tried and true to the tradition.
And this is a Solera system, which is a little different. That's been active for 23 years. Solera systems they'll fill a barrel and they'll keep it full and they'll drain off like 1/8 of it and they'll bottle that and they'll sell it and they'll always keep refilling it. So there's always
It's a rotisserie.
yeah. And
Okay.
so there's some rums in here that are only like 3 to 5 years old, but then there's some that's 23 years old. And so that's a Solera system. It's a different way of achieving youth and age in a spirit, and I think they really
Yeah,
pulled
they
it
found
off.
a great blend and they found a
Because-
great system.
Yeah, it's that great median between youthful
Yeah.
and age. So yeah, 5 stars. Now, as a cask aged spirit, that's putting it up against all the brandies, the cognacs, the rums, the reposado tequilas,
See,
the
that's-
whiskeys.
That's tough. Like you just described what we were just talking about, finding the blend between the youth and the age. They find such a nice mixture of the two, and this is so smooth. It's very sweet, but goodness, you could do a lot with it. Like you said, I'm sure this is a great cocktail. I will give this a 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Blade.
Oddly enough, this is the best rum I've ever tasted.
There you go.
So I know why the Pirates did what they did.
$32.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give me a case.
Yeah.
So I know why the Pirates put them in the casks and then stole all the other casks. Because if this was it, then yes, I'm going to storm your boat. This is delicious
If
for
somebody just
a rum.
So as a Cascade Spirit, what would you give it?
Oh well, it's at a 7. I'm going high.
Okay.
I'm going high because
He likes it?
Wow.
because it's the smoothest rum I've ever had.
It is. He's not wrong though.
No, it's incredibly smooth. There's no alcohol bite here whatsoever.
So well, thanks, Blade. This is now thanks to your review, one of the highest ranked spirits in
Ever.
KOE Nation history. I'm gonna give it a 4.25 because you can cocktail it and drink it neat. But yep, he's giving it 7.
But like I said,
To thine own self be true.
it's a rum. It's a rum that I have not been privy on rum that much, and the rums that I've tasted are not
You could
this
have
well.
You could have somebody.
But being a cast age, you think of rum, you think of pirates, you think of all the old age.
You could have somebody come up to the bar and ask for a mixed shot of rum, and you could simply pour a shot of this, and they would never guess that it was not shaken up in a mixer. They would take this straight, have it smooth, and be quite satisfied.
And that's exactly why I want to give it the 7.
You know,
Because it's
to thine
there.
own self be true. He's got to be true. So, Shelvin, let's go to you first.
No, shelving, you said it was $32 on. I want to buy a case, and I want to show everybody that walks through my door. So it's going to be a high shelf, but it's going to be, hey, you're here. Until I get to my last bottle, you're not allowed to drink it.
Okay.
But it is still high shelf for me.
Okay. All right.
People that I enjoy.
This one is going to be between the middle and top for me, just depending on the room. Which the fact that there's a rum that could even potentially touch a top shelf. Tony, change my mind.
No, you're absolutely right. This would flutter between the top and the bottom if I needed to make room, because it's a rum. You don't necessarily think top shelf, but if there was ever going to be a rum on the top shelf, right here.
But it's a rum.
It's
Now,
a rum.
let me ask you. Well, I guess you already answered that. Would you
I answered it.
Yeah, he's going to try to find a case of it. It's not really that hard to find.
No.
You'll be able to get your hands on it. I guarantee it. Tony?
This is one that I've seen it a few places, and I just didn't pick it up, and I don't know why I haven't. I'm going to get another bottle of this. Yeah, I got to have a bottle of this on hand. It's great.
At all times.
Phil, would you get another bottle of this now that it's gone? Well, that solves that.
Hey, is that empty?
Oh, that's there you have it, folks.
Yeah, more rum.
Yep, that's how impressed I am with that stuff. Is I made sure that I got another bottle, and I always keep some on hand. It's basically and I'm going to say this without, and I'm not saying this without any hyperbole. Ron Zacapa Solera 23 is the rum of extreme. Until we can find something else, yes.
Easy. I don't want to order here.
Yes, I know. There's going to be a lot of fallout from this. This is like a nuclear bomb hitting the spirits world. Every distiller of rum the world over went, oh, shit. Phil K.O.E. just declared the rum of extreme. We got to step our fucking game up. We got to figure this shit out. I mean, Phil K.O.E. is endorsing us. What shall we do? I'm sure that
has been planted.
Thank you. So, Blade, anything you'd like to say to the folks at home?
See y'all later.
Tony G, anything you'd like to say to the folks at home?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us for this incredible spirits review and bottle killing. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, and as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us, and please like, share, subscribe, and join us for all the crazy adventures coming up. Catch you later, folks. What I do have on hand tonight is the very last of the Pusser's rum, folks. So yes, I'm going to do a very quick impromptu review of the Pusser's rum. So folks, Welcome, one and all, to my review of the Pusser's Rum, the British Navy Pusser's Rum, which is an amalgamation and kind of a, I guess, a transmogrification of the word purser. Purser was the person who kept track of what was actually was the person who actually kept track of everything within the ship's purse, if you will. And the purser was also the person who would mix the rum for the boys at the end of the day and for their twice daily rum ration, because up until 1970, the British Royal Navy actually issued their men a rum ration. Yes, a twice daily rum ration that was 1 part rum, 2 parts water, basically. But yeah, the Pusser's Rum is a very famous Caribbean rum. It's a blend of a couple different ones. Pusser's Rum from 1655 until July 31st, 1970, better known as Black Tot Day, Royal Navy sailors were issued a daily ration of Pusser's Rum. This award-winning rum from Trinidad and Guyana is influenced by centuries-old wooden pot stills and continues to be crafted in accordance to the Admiralty specification. The sailors called it Nelson's Blood. We call it liquid history. So this is the original Admiralty rum, and this is basically as close as you're going to get without having to spend a fortune to get a rum that was close to what the British sailors would have been issued. Actually, in the United States, the U.S. sailors were also issued a rum ration twice daily up until shortly after the Civil War. Then the temperance movement hit, and that was pretty much done away with. But today, we're going to give the Pusser's Rum. Marvelous nose, I got to say, for a rum. There's, on top of the molasses, there's also a candy here. You get slight toffee. And some kind of nut. I can't quite put my hands on it. Can't put my finger on it, but like almost a peanut buttery quality. But, well, folks, let's see. Okay, that's liquid molasses. That's pretty much just molasses. There's like that is. Yeah, that will get you through your day. That'll get you through a tough day. I'll give you that. The Pusser's Rum can do that. So we're going to grade this on a couple of scales, folks. So for those who don't know, we grade on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E Nation has advised you well. So we're going to grade it as a Caribbean rum, as a cask-aged spirit. It's shelving. And for those new to our broadcast, the secret 5th question. So, as a Caribbean rum, I'm going to give this 3 stars. It's good stuff, but there's really no like fruity expressions here, but this is a historical rum. Okay, so for Caribbean, I'm going to stick with 3 stars. As a rum in general, I'm going to give this actually 3.75 because of its historical value. It can really, it's also a conversation piece in terms of just what you can get out of it. And if you've got anybody in your family or friends who have any sort of naval service, this would be a great gift. I gotta say, like if you know anybody from any sort of naval background, because this cost me $20. But so moving right along to cask aged spirit, I'm gonna give it 2.5. It's right in the middle there. It's sweet, but it's just a sipping rum. Now, in terms of its shelving, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a bottom shelf rum. It's okay. It's okay. It's a good mixer, but that's what it is. It's a mixer. So. But then, for those new to the show, folks, the secret 5th question. And what is that? Well, when this bottle runs empty, and it's going to very shortly, will I seek another one? Well, I believe the answer to that question is yes. Because I have just polished off this bottle. It's excellent stuff. I have mixed with peach juice here. Excellent stuff. So, folks, that has been my review of the Pusser's rum. Yes, I will seek it out, and yes, I will be giving this as a gift to some people in my life who have served in the Navy. So, God bless. All right.
See if it just smooths itself out.
Tell you what I'll do if I ever get back. I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost. We gotta take it down. Let you down slow. It's hard to survive. El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah. See.
Welcome, one and all, to a very special review of Havana Club rum, Puerto Rican rum. So it's got the name Havana Club, but it's Puerto Rican rum. We'll get into that in a little bit. But also, it's Añejo Blanco. For those who know anything about tequila, that's an unusual classification, Añejo Blanco. But so, folks, this is a recipe created in Cuba. Every bottle of Havana Club starts with the finest sugar cane molasses. The rum rests for at least 1 year in oak barrels as the Caribbean weather of Puerto Rico works its magic. We employ a double aging process, achieving a bold and sumptuous taste with a smooth finish. The Archibald family founded their company and built their first distillery in Cardenas, Cuba in 1978. Decades later, this family of rum makers would be forced to flee during the Cuban Revolution. Precious recipes in hand, after years of controversy, this well-kept treasure has been dusted off once again for crafting this incomparable rum in Puerto Rico. The family crest continues to grace Havana Club rum as a reminder of the tenacious and passionate Cuban spirit that inspired it. Neat. Neato burrito. And so that's how it is in Añejo Blanco. There you go, folks. There you go. Okay. Definitely pick up some ethanol here. Like, you definitely get ethanol very heavy here. Honestly, like, you know that this is made of molasses, but the nose does give you a lot of tequila qualities. I don't know how else to quite put it. Just, it doesn't smell like molasses. It smells like sugar. That's what it really smells like when I'm taking a nose of this. Like, just simple syrup and alcohol, if that makes sense. So, interesting. All right, well, enjoy. The palate reflects that, to be honest. It dissipates quickly. It's sugary. It's sweet. But boy, I mean, it's just very minimal. I don't know how else to put it. Like, it dissipates on your tongue. It doesn't leave toffees. It's just sugar sweet. I don't know how else to put it. That it's just a good sugar. Mhm. Interesting. Almost has like that familiar sting of Blanco tequila or even some vodka after the sugar dissipates. So now we get to the interesting part, the grading. Now, for those who don't know, I grade on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E Nation has advised you well. So we're going to grade this on a few scales. We're going to grade this as a Caribbean rum. We're going to grade this as a rum. We're going to grade this as a cask aged spirit. It's shelving. And then for those new to the show, the secret 5th question. So, as a Caribbean rum, I am going to give this 2.5. It's just a good, serviceable Caribbean rum. It's right in the middle there. It can work in any cocktail you want it to. And I've used it for several cocktails, and it works amazingly. I actually used this to make a punch romaine, and it was perfect. This would actually be my go-to for making a punch romaine, but we'll get to that later. As a rum, that's kind of where I think of cocktails more. That's why I'm going to give this 3 stars as a rum. Excellent stuff for cocktailing. So this one, and it doesn't really break the bank either. This one I got on sale for just a little over $20. Then as a cask aged spirit, to be honest, you don't get much here. I'm going to give it 2 stars as a cask aged spirit because it's barely one. They even call it an añejo blanco, but I have to call it as I see it and cask aged, and I'm going to give it 2 stars. In terms of shelving, this is a bottom shelf easy reacher, so you can definitely have yourself a good evening mixing it. In terms of will I buy this rum again, which is the secret 5th question, yes, I will, because it's just a great mixer. It's going to be my go-to mixing rum for any kind of complex cocktails. This is the one to go for. It's very simple in its flavor, but it really lets your sweeteners and everything else do it what it needs to do. Like for this cocktail I made of Pusser's rum and peach juice, the rum overpowered the juice. But every time I've mixed this with peach juice, the peach is the most powerful thing. So, folks, this has been my review of Havana Club Rum. Thanks for joining me for that one, folks.
Here and see if it just smooths itself out.
Tell you what I'll do if I ever get back. I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost. We gotta take it down. Let you down slow. It's hard to survive. El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah. See, get closer now.
I won't hurt you, I promise.
Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E Nation for a very special Nebraska Spirits review. I am joined by a whole crazy cast of characters, most importantly of all, the returning Nurse Ratched. How are we doing this evening, miss? And of course,
Actually, let you talk.
You know, it's like ask a question, but you know.
and of course, the one and only,
Tony G, like, share, subscribe.
and
The champ, chicken.
so we're going to get into a very interesting rum that I've been looking forward to getting into for some time. And This is Soldier Valley Amber Rum. This is made right here in Nebraska. I'm going to get this poured.
Nebraska rum.
Yes, right. Nebraska's own rum. And as far as I can tell, there's not a lot. There's just a
Yeah.
handful.
I'm gonna say. I know Cutspike makes a rum, and I don't think I've had their new one.
What are the requirements on making rum? Like we know the rules.
Distilled from molasses.
Basic.
That's
That's
it.
it.
About it.
No
Yeah.
time frame. No nothing.
No, you can have white rum. This has obviously been aged in a cask, but
Yep.
now that we each have a pour, Miss Ratch, you've got a little bit of a bias towards this particular brand.
I do.
Now, why would that be?
Well, I have my military service, so instantly with it being a military support, more
Yeah.
or less.
And also, given that you were in the Navy up until the Civil War, the United States actually had a daily rum ration for our sailors. And even in England, that was the case until 1970. So,
Which we did a podcast on.
yeah, we did actually check that out. K.O.E. Nation Black Tot Day celebratory toast. But there's a little bit of a story about here about a certain person that this bottle is dedicated to. If you'd get into that a little bit, Nurse Ratch,
All
while
right.
we consider the spirit.
Soldier Valley, dedicated to the women who changed the world by stepping into what was considered a man's job during World War II, known then as Rosie the Riveter. My grandmother was one such lady who helped build B-26 Marauder medium bombers. These determined women kept the fires burning on the home front and made sure the supplies necessary to win the war made it to our troops. Cheers to them and to all of those today who continue to support our military. And I 100% support that.
And to your
Cheers.
grandma.
Cheers.
So,
Oh, I love them.
first thing I get is like a dark toffee sweet.
molasses.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, the molasses is
And
definitely.
I work with a lot of dried molasses at the feed mill, so yeah, that's
I get a little of the coffee or
Yeah.
coffee adjacent.
Yeah, but like you're right. I'm trying to find something other than just saying it's molasses.
it is.
I'm trying to help you, Phil.
Yeah, we'll get there. Well, let's see if the palate presents anything else.
Let's do it.
Lady and gentlemen,
Cheers. Oh yeah.
very
Okay.
subdued,
Oh,
almost
there.
like a bubblegum texture on your tongue.
There you go. Love the finish.
Yeah.
Really love the finish, actually.
Baked honey on the finish.
I like the honey, but I almost get like a mint.
Well,
Slight, not like a rye whiskey, but like a
not
No.
enough mint. I don't like mints and whiskeys or anything.
caramel,
It's not offensive, so it's not like a bad.
caramel. Yeah.
I'm getting like a spearmint on the end of it.
Yeah.
I'm going past the spearmint. It's like a caramel drizzle for me.
That's on like the front. On the back, I get the spearmint on the front.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
getting
Mhm.
something else that's a little bit
To
more
me, it comes out more
caramelly.
like a baking spice, maybe more than like mint, but
maybe
we're getting close.
like thyme or something or
Oh, like
basil.
Basil.
Okay. Now you said it, I can't not taste it.
Yeah.
That's the power of suggestion, folks. But
That's why you shouldn't read
Yeah.
the bottles before you
this
drink.
is Soldier Valley rum from Patriarch Distilling here in Nebraska, actually La Vista,
yes.
Omaha for the uninitiated.
Not quite as strong as I thought it was going to be, honestly.
40?
It doesn't
It's
taste very
40.
strong.
It's only 40.
Oh, that
It-
makes sense.
I mean, but it smells stronger than that.
Yeah, I probably would have guessed
What I
42,
find when you
43.
spin the glass too much, it releases the alcohol and it'll make it taste way stronger. So when you spin it like that, it's evaporating the alcohol in the glass. So you're gonna get a more alcoholic smell if you let it settle, and then have your scent. You kind of keep pulling it back and forth. You'll get an actual real scent to it.
I really
That's a
like
lot
that.
more subdued flavor than I thought. Now,
Yeah, I would agree.
I
We
would
get-
agree.
we get to the interesting part of this particular program, the grading. For those who don't know, we grade on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 means you can pass it on by. the KOE Nation has advised you well. So we're going to start off as just a rum, then as a Nebraska distillate. Then we're going to go on its shelving. Then the secret fourth question for those new to the show. So, as a rum, how would you rate this on any rum you've ever had across your whole existence in all sundry? I don't get to use that word. Gotta try and shoehorn that in.
He's making everybody smarter.
Yes.
Well, it's written right there on the
Teaching every day.
Scottish Highlands.
It is a
KOE
fact.
way.
When you hear a word that you don't hear very often, you then Google that word to say, what the hell is Phil talking about?
Doing a service here, folks. One drink at a time.
And the
So,
more you know.
Your
So-
English teacher will thank you.
yes. So, Chicken, considering you've traveled the farthest to get here, I'm going to give you the first grade as a
So
rum.
as a rum, I've had several rums. I'm not a super big rum guy, but as a rum, I'll be fair to this. It's not bad. This, especially for a Nebraska rum, that surprises me. I'll give it a 3.25 for a rum. There's a lot of better ones out there, but this isn't bad. This isn't offensive. You can mix with this. There's all kinds of stuff.
Tony G,
4.
4 stars as a rum.
Wow.
Really like it.
That's
Oh,
impressive.
Really like it.
That's
I'm
impressive.
putting this up against some of the rums that I've had in the past. Granted, I don't drink a ton of rum these
I got a
days.
list that I would put at 4. I want to ask you about that.
I was going to say, all the bad rum I drank over the years, this is leaps and bounds.
Okay, we're not talking about our 20s though.
Well, yeah, my palate was a much different thing then because I didn't have one apparently.
Ouch. Now, Nurse Ratched, what would you grade this as a rum?
Well, obviously I have the bias because of the history with it. But I will not let that cloud my judgment. I'm gonna give it a 2.
2.
Oh,
wow.
Ouch.
Wide world of scores. I like
Damn.
this. This is fun.
All right. Me,
Yeah.
I was going to settle at 3.5 as a rum because I like it. It's not overbearing, like you said, like a cocktail. Nurse Ratched, to thine own self be true. That's all I can say. So,
I like rum I can drink neat, and this is one that I'm
You
really
can't drink
enjoying.
this neat.
And
This is
and that's
great.
where you and I differ. Is
Yeah,
no.
This is neat, mixing, it's everything. That's why. Yeah, it's good.
I'm
Well,
gonna be the harsh critic tonight.
that's fair.
there's
Totally
still
fair.
plenty in her glass, so that tells you something, folks.
Yeah.
Now,
Chug, chug, chug.
I won't be mean to Tony tonight.
You got some
tonight,
Coke over there.
So- as a Nebraska distillate, okay? So this is putting it up against
Good.
other
It's
distillates
a good one.
that you've had made in Nebraska.
You can
Now-
either use that score to go high or low. That's
Now, are we counting this? We're gonna go back to our white wine
to
competition
say.
because that is a fair question. Because if I remember, I won that one handily.
We're
I don't
stealing hard
think-
liquors,
yeah,
beers
'cause-
out of the conversation.
Well,
Yeah.
wine is not a distillate in the strict sense, so
Can't
All
count
right.
breweries.
I know,
Alright.
I'm nerding out on you, but
He's cheating.
I know. But so this is just off of distillates that you've had from Nebraska, and Nurse Ratch, I can tell that you're thinking, shit, that's 0. So I mean,
all the
So it's an
Nebraska
automatic
vodkas,
bias.
whiskey,
Stars!
Nebraska tequilas you've had on. So
yes.
many best.
So
The mezcal from Omaha.
no, that's not a thing at all.
I wish it was.
There's like 20 reasons that's not a thing, but okay.
We're about to
Almost
list
melted
them.
my brain there with one sentence. Good job. All right. So, Chicken, I'm gonna let you start.
3.
3 stars.
There's some really good stuff that comes out of Nebraska. This
There
isn't
is.
nearly even close to the most offensive thing that Nebraska.
Oh no.
This is right in the middle. If you see it, how much? What's? I guess we'll get to that eventually.
will.
Like, if the value's good, yeah, it's if you like rum and the value's good, I'll get this.
Tony G.
Like immediately when you said that's what we were going to score it as, I'm like, God, you could almost give this a 5. I'm like, yeah, we have had some really good ryes and some whiskeys from Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. We have.
I've even had a couple really nice vodkas from Nebraska. So keeping that in mind, I'm gonna give it 3.5 as a Nebraska this time.
All right.
He really likes this.
I do. This is right up my alley for a ride.
Now, Nurse Ratch, I'm curious. Are you going to go, considering this is the first one, 5 stars or 0 stars? I'm curious. This is really.
Technically not the first. I
Okay.
have some other ones here. I will be there on this one. I'm gonna give it a 3.
3 stars.
All right.
All right. I'm
Move the
going
needle.
to split the difference here, and I'm going to go 3.25 as a Nebraska distillate. Excellent stuff. Now, I paid $35 for this bottle.
Oh, yeah,
just
beautiful.
because it's a Nebraska. You're supporting a local business. I figured, what the hey? That, and I've got 2 other Nebraska rums, and eventually, keep your eyes on this face, folks. We're gonna have to do a Nebraska rum face-off. So, but
With all 2 of them?
well, there's 2 more, so it'll be
Wow.
a 3-way dance.
What other 2 do you have?
I will say this. I would be 100% sold if there was something on here that said profits
Brickway
go
and something else.
to.
Profits go to such and such.
There is
Yes.
there
Not a bad
is
idea.
actually, at least before COVID, everything changed after that, but before that there was actually a sum of the proceeds that went to
There you
certain
go.
charities in that direction. So
Maybe they still do.
If
Let us know
that's-
in the comments.
yeah, please.
Yeah, I'd
let
be
us know.
curious to know.
Yeah, so
Sway my opinion, please.
now I'm curious. Shelving. I'm going to be honest. This is probably going to sit on the bottom shelf as easy reaching rum.
I agree. And that's just like, again, these are all subjective. Like everybody's like, I love this stuff. No, it's just subjective. For my house, yeah, bottom shelf. This is purely a mixer. And with an interesting story for anybody that comes over that likes Nebraska rum. Like, this would be a fun one to have, but yeah, it doesn't deserve a better place than that.
If I had
You
a
have a
shelf
Nebraska
for
rum
everything
right there.
besides whiskey, it'd go on that, and I kind of do. I have a cabinet that all the vodka and the rum and tequila goes in, so that's probably where it would go for me. But if I was just strictly shelving, I may even put this on my middle. But probably bottom.
Now, Tony, you were asking what are the other 2 Nebraska
Yes.
rums? One is made by Brickway, and it's Libertas Colonial
Okay.
Rum, which is them trying to stay as
Dude,
close
that's
to the,
gonna be
the
good.
colonial recipes.
That's gonna be good.
And then Cut Spike made a barrel aged
Yes.
rum, and those are the
Okay.
other
I
2
knew it
Nebraska
cut
rums.
spike. Yeah.
So I
So
say if you don't have cut spike, we're gonna have a problem. We gotta have.
I got this one for $15 on sale from a store that was closing. So I figured, what
Nice.
the heck?
Good catch.
But
Crap.
tonight's Soldier Valley is
They
nice.
used to make a chopper around the cut spike. It
Ooh.
was amazing. I wish they still did.
Interesting. So yeah, I think we've all agreed. Well, actually, Nurse Ratch, what was your thoughts on shelving?
This would be a talking piece for me.
That's fair.
So even when the bottle runs empty, you'd probably keep the bottle and just.
Yeah, I would.
Now they've also got a rye, a whiskey, and a
bourbon.
vodka.
I think they got. I think
The
they just got
vodka?
bourbon.
I would be willing to try the vodka. I think that might be something I would enjoy a little bit more.
Okay, perfect. Just happen to know where we can find one.
Oh, I see another podcast in the future.
Interesting.
Why did it get quiet?
Molasses.
Because we're thinking of all the different.
We covered the molasses.
I know. I'm starting over.
No,
You guys
honestly,
got quiet.
I was gonna come back and say butterscotch.
So, good God. I would say when this bottle runs empty, will I seek another one? Probably, because like Nurse Raj said, there's an interesting story. It's a conversation piece bottle. You put it in the middle of a table at a party. People are going to want to know what's up. So, this has been our impromptu review of. Oh, come on! Like, just tell the people that you love it even more. Oh, goodness gracious! So,
I have no control over what my face does.
so, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for this very special review of Soldier Valley Amber Rum. I knew there was something special in there. So, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Nurse Raj, thank you for gracing the show and gracing the panel this evening. Tony, Chicken, thanks for being here. All y'all, glasses in, folks. Glasses in, all y'all.
Hey.
There we
It's
go.
empty.
Hey!
Cheers.
Cheers.
smooths
ever
itself out.
get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost. We gotta take it down. Let you down slow. It's hard to survive. El Dorado. Oh Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah. See.
Welcome, one and all, to a very special KOE Nation. It's Black Tot Day, the last day that the British Royal Navy ever issued their daily rum ration. I am devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE, joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only.
Nurse Ratchet.
Welcome back, miss, or should I say ma'am now?
is
Come on,
ma'am
show,
now.
show off the bling, show it off. Yes, I'm sure you saw, we, the whole group, us cast and ne'er-do-wells, we married her off and we did it proud. So I wanted to get you over here for this day because this was a very interesting day in naval tradition. And for folks who don't know, Nurse Ratchet over here has a bit more naval experience than I'll before I let her get into her naval experience, I'll just tell you my naval experience. One time when I was about 16, my dad and my uncle took me and my brother out fishing in the San Francisco Bay for halibut. That was my time on a boat in the ocean. So would you like to tell the people at home why you might be a little more qualified for this while I start getting this ready?
I possibly have, signed that blank check to Uncle Sam by way of the Navy and have a bit more extensive even than that. My daughter is a purebred Navy brat. Her father served, I think, approximately 3.5 years in the Navy. I did a fair stint, and we both served on different sides of the country. I served Westpac, he served Eastpac, and this was, early 2000s for him, late 2000s for me. I was actually going to tell one of my stories, but this one's a bit more dramatic. It's actually one of my ex-husbands. He served out of Norfolk, and he had to go through the Straits of Gibraltar, which, to those of you that don't know, it's pretty narrow strip of ocean between pretty hostile countries. And he was on an aircraft carrier, which is a very, very, very large boat. And from the stories that he has told me is you could basically stand on either side of the flight deck and spit and hit land. And as they're going through, there's gun turrets pointed at the ship, just waiting for a reason.
Fun times. That's a Navy's life, folks, and it's why I'm using this particular Pusser's rum, because a portion of the proceeds go to Royal Naval Charities. So I thought that was kind of neat. Now, if you didn't see, what I did was I'm making the old grog rum recipe. It's the old grog, which is 1 part rum, 2 parts water, and just a dash, not too much. That's plenty of lemon, lime, whatever they had. This rum is about as close as folks would be able to get of the old school style of rum that the British Royal Navy and even the American Navy up until the Civil War, actually shortly thereafter, issued a rum ration to all of their sailors. So this is
What was the actual date for Black Tot Day?
July 31st, 1970. So the British Royal Navy actually kept this rum ration well into the modern era. And this Pusser's rum, which is a perversion of the word purser. The ship's purser was the person who kept control of the rum, amongst many other things. But a drunken sailor might say, "Yeah, purser's rum there." Yeah,
Sailors are never known to be drunk.
no.
No.
And actually, on top of that, I'm just pouring you it's probably plenty. Just if you want to get a nose of just the rum neat, or even just a small palletful.
Oof.
This is to the original Admiralty recipe. So this is
That is quite potent just from that tiny little bit right there.
and actually also a lot of people don't know that it's rum and military service that actually gave us the word proof of what's its proof, because they would actually put the rum in a little device that you would put a little gunpowder in, you'd strike it, and if it actually lit up, that was proof that it's what they say it is. So that's where we actually get the word proof from, amongst many other things. Like I suspect the word groggy comes from the grog that we're about to have here. I doubt they ever shook it. But hey, it's a celebration for Black Talk Day. And this is very close to the original ration that they would have gotten.
I'm guessing the water was probably not even remotely purified as well.
The process of mixing it was how they purified it. The rum was actually how you would purify the water. Because, I mean, as you probably knew from your short time on ship, but like just imagine of how, like compared to some of these guys in the military, they'd be out for years. So comparing those two, like you were always after, in the old times, you're always after fresh water and fresh wood. Those are the two things you always needed, even if you had to come in and out fairly quickly, because your water was constantly going bad. So it was a tricky. So adding a bit of rum actually helped it.
That was actually one thing that when I was in training, they did actually discuss fairly at length, was kind of the history within naval traditions of drinking and so on and so forth, because there was such a shortage of fresh, clean water that this was basically the only alternative they had, especially, on long voyages on ships, because it's not like it is today, where you have an ample supply of, okay, you have X amount of sailors, you have X amount of time that you're going to be gone, so we have to have this ration basically of fresh water for cooking, for showering, for drinking. And again, this was just the natural alternative, because the alcohol kills some of those toxins, some of those diseases and viruses. And well, everybody wonders why sailors are drunks.
Yep. And the small bit of lemon or lime that they would put in there, it actually was considered medicinal
for scurvy.
Yeah. Now I will say, in today it is completely illegal to even imply that there's any medical quality to alcohol, but that was the view back then. So so this is as close as I think we're gonna get to the classic Navy grog. So
we'll see if I could have survived back then.
Well, to all y'all who had to make do with a lifetime of grog. Not for the name grog, it's not quite as bad as you think it would be.
No, I definitely expected quite a bit worse.
This is actually not too bad. And the other reason that they did this ration, you can probably see why, is originally they would give, every man would get a half pint of rum for the whole day's ration. Now a half pint of neat rum isn't going to make for very good disciplined soldiers. And even more so is with their original rations, soldiers would take their ration, pour it into a bottle, save it up over the time so they'd have a lot of rum, drink it all down, or sell it, or what. And regardless, that didn't make for good discipline on ship. So Admiral Vernon, who he was called Old Grog because he wore a grogram coat, he was the one who made the decision to mix with water, and he put a bit of fruit juice and sometimes just a little sugar, so it would be impossible for the sailors to be able to save that back. And so you drink it when you're here on deck with us when it's time to drink. And
one little known fact, well, to those that haven't served, maybe a little known fact, is when on deployment, especially now, is drinking while on duty is strictly prohibited. if, for those of you that have seen Jarhead, there's a particular scene that will make perfect sense. Sometimes you'll get an NCO that's a little bit more understanding, but you know, when you're there to serve a purpose and you have to be super focused. You know, you have on obviously your duty days and so on and so forth, but I can definitely see where watering it down would have been a wise administrative decision.
Yes, yes. And this is something that I figured you would probably get kind of a kick out of, is if there was a lack of discipline aboard ship, the captain or admiral would order that the rum ration for what basically whoever was messing up for the whole group, so everybody got collectively punished. The rum ration will be reduced to 4 parts water, 1 part rum, and you can about imagine how well that would.
Oh yes, I can imagine.
But strangely enough, that actually towards the end of the black tot tradition became the official ration. So to the point where here we go. The rum that would be in a sailor's ration, this is a 50 milliliter bottle of vodka. The rum ration was basically 70 milliliters. So imagine 20 more milliliters to that. And that was about how much rum would have actually been in a daily rum ration. Not a huge amount. So you can see why there were many people who gave impassioned speeches about how we need to keep the rum ration. You know, members of parliament who used to serve in the military, they were like, no, this is what kept us going. It was our one, and especially back when we're talking like the 19th century, 18th century, when water was a really tricky, you know, this was their one little respite, their one little joy in life. It was what kept them going. And so I could understand it, but yeah, that one, it was on borrowed time after World War II. And did like really, the fact that it went that long is quite shocking.
It's very similar though to the cigarette ration that America did with its troops. A friend of mine's father was in the Marines, and we were actually joking about this at our wedding, that you know, he didn't smoke a cigarette a day in his life, but they were given 3 cigarettes with each meal that they were given. And I feel like that may have actually come from the British Royal Navy and their influence, you know, as America was being born, basically. They just did it a little bit differently.
You know, I could see that, because you have to give your soldiers some sort of respite, some sort of, and you know, a cigarette's a pretty good way to wind down, and they hold a lot better than a big old cask of rum. So that I did find kind of fascinating. Yeah, I always remember in World War II documentaries, Lucky Strikes is good tobacco. Oh, guys, we got some, and so fascinating. So, folks, if you have any rum of any kind out there, please raise a glass to everybody who has ever been part of the grand Navy tradition of these high seas, from sea to shining sea, wherever you happen to be. Ash, Nurse Ratch, anything you'd like to say to the people?
I mean, as far as the Navy goes, it makes complete sense that drinking was a part of it, because, fun fact, the Navy is the only one that has drinking as a part of its fight song.
Now, how does that fight song go?
I honestly don't remember.
I don't believe.
And even if I did,
How
I'm not
many
singing it.
that's the actual truth. What's the lyric? Just as well sing it while you're.
Yeah, no. I don't. It's something about the suds. I can't remember exactly how it goes. But...
Okay, because the rum ration eventually replaced the beer ration. Because if you're in friendly waters, everybody would be given a beer ration.
Drink to the foam. That's what it is.
Okay. There we go. But the problem is beer didn't hold very well.
No.
So rum was usually more preferred because it would just hold for years.
Well, and if you notice, there is a little bit, and it's held quite well. I mean, we've been.
Yep, just a small bit of foam off of. Well, you got rum is distilled molasses, so your foams on drinks come from sugar, and so with rum, you're going to have a little bit of sugar in there,
especially if they added sugar to it.
Yeah, I wonder if that probably wasn't like a captain or two just wasn't big drinkers. It's like add a little bit of sugar to that, or like just use it while we got it, or who knows? Or like that's just a little fascinating. Like, I just thought it was so interesting that even up until the modern era, a spirit such as rum was utilized daily by a branch of one of the world's superpowers. So
I mean, the British, they tend to be far more traditional than, say, we Americans, and they like to hold on to those.
yeah, I just thought this is kind of funny is that the final tot for it was a medical aspect of the British Royal Navy. I don't know exactly what they call it, but
Be the equivalent of our corpsman.
yes, and they actually had a full mock funeral for the last tot. They had the drums. Everybody was like, like it was a whole thing. Like they made a big deal out of it. I kind of wish somebody would have filmed that. That'd have been grand.
But it's the death of a tradition, and as I stated earlier, they cling to those, and most people that have served can definitely understand that mentality of this was a tradition since the inception of this branch of the military. So in essence, it was like the death of a very famous officer. It was, yeah.
And the thing is that when they ended it, it had been a part of British Royal Navy history for over 300 years since the capture of Jamaica in the 1700s. This was an integral part of British Royal Navy life, and so I can only imagine how jarring that must have been for folks. And so for all those folks who had to make do on August 1st, 1970, I also raise my glass to you as well. So, Nurse, any last things you'd like to say to the people?
I am actually kind of glad that this went to the wayside. I can think of a few people I served with that this would have been a very, very bad idea.
Yeah, giving them rum every single day, twice a day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's bad news bears.
Bad news bears, you say. Well, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this has been our tribute to Black Tot Day. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme Phil K.O.E., and I am handing it off to an incredible broadcast partner. Thank you, Nurse Ratch, for lending us your vast naval experience. I'm from Nebraska. I told you my experience on the ocean. It's very, very slight. That the first time I was 7, I tasted seawater. But yeah,
Doesn't taste good.
No. So, Nurse Ratch, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you helping us move this along, and so we can finally raise our glasses properly, because it just wouldn't be right if I did a tribute to the Navy without the one person that I know with more actual naval knowledge than I would ever encounter in this life. So
well, I appreciate that, and I'm always willing to make an appearance.
Yes, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much, Nurse Rat. And folks, like, share, subscribe, and keep up with all the crazy happenings around here. Catch you later, folks. Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very special Spirits Review. We are here to review Terramana Tequila, and yes, folks, this is the first time you will have the chance to smell what the Rock is cooking. In regards to agave, actually. So yes, folks, Terramana Tequila, it is the official tequila of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And you're talking to three people who have spent a considerable amount of their time as huge fans.
There's a signature on the back.
Yep. And I found it interesting that, you know, he could probably have gotten away with putting his face on the front of it.
I'm
And
pretty shocked he did.
now I think this is just one of those word of mouth. Just what The Rock has a tequila, and then we all gotta try it. Like
Yeah.
now, Terramana, if I will. I like the name Terramana. It literally means land magic. Like Terra is like the terroir, the terrain. Mana or mana magic. And I just find it fascinating that he started a tequila of all things. The Rock started a tequila. Now, this is a celebrity brand. Hang on, let's see. Okay.
Not too bad. Not too
That
bad.
was a pretty good.
Okay.
I give it a 4, 4.5. Somewhere
And
in there.
also an all black synthetic cork, just like
Oh.
TX whiskey. So I imagine the supplier isn't too far apart on the two of them. So this is their Blanco. So this is basically just straight from the still.
This is.
If you want to read any of the fun facts on the back, I like it.
Wow, this is only 40% ABV.
Yep.
Really?
It's not a very high ABV tequila. Most tequilas aren't that high, actually.
No.
They usually sit around 40% just so that they can sell in the United States market. I think actually, like 100 years ago, tequila was actually slightly slightly lower ABV, just because there wasn't any.
This actually, like this has literally the nutrition facts basically.
That was better.
Yeah, given on the back of this. It gives you the agave, the roasting, the stills, it's copper pot, calories, carbohydrates, sugars, serving facts, serving size, the recommended amount. Like, I don't know, this is not what I expect. I mean, I'm used to drinking whiskey, but it has so much more going on in the back label than
Yeah,
I
it actually gives you
normally
some
expect.
legit, like here on the Reposado, which it gives you all of this stuff. It's brick oven, 100%
Yeah.
blue Weber Highland agave,
Copper pot, brick oven.
oak
This as
barrels.
well.
Yep, 96 per 1.5 ounce. It's 96 calories, 1.5 ounces serving. Note, and then it gives you just a few, and then it says Mana Gratitude Tequila. That's kind of their.
So
But yeah, distilled in copper pot stills, handcrafted from Highlands agave. Now, yes, the rocks.
there's literally nothing different in terms of the initial facts. Notes of oak and vanilla with a smooth, rich finish. The Blanco's notes of bright citrus with a smooth, fresh finish. So you're not expecting. a
Let's
ton
see
of
if there's that much of a
differentiation.
difference.
Yeah, they're not giving you a lot. Now, if you actually look at the two spirits side by side,
Yeah.
there is not a lot of, like, the bottle gives you much bigger
Yeah.
difference than the actual tequila
Wow.
themselves when you get them into their glasses. Now, this is also in part with why The Rock and other celebrities are releasing celebrity tequilas, because with a tequila, you can distill it and put it out in the market almost immediately. And with Reposado, you can age it for months rather than years. And so the idea is you can get off the ground and get product to the market in months. While if a celebrity wants to start a whiskey brand, it took Bob Dylan years to get his Heaven Door whiskey to the point where it was where he originally envisioned it. So
Still waiting on Conor McGregor to have
he'll get there. When
Yeah,
it's,
after about 12 years.
I was about to say, when it's aged to proper 12, then yeah.
actually, age
the
it 12
real
years.
proper 12. Yeah.
So, another 9 years.
But hey, the guy had to get something out to the market while
Fair,
he was
fair.
hot, while he had that. And
Boy,
that's
did he cool after.
now that's getting off here a little, because we are talking about one of the hottest superstars, one of the most well-known human beings and recognizable faces on planet Earth, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, Phil, he hasn't been WWE champion in at least 5 years. 6.
I think he's done a few things since.
I don't think so.
No.
Couple. He hasn't been on the conversation as a potential presidential candidate.
You shall see.
Yeah, there's that. Oh, and Fast and Furious. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I guess he's got stuff going on.
So we move. Now this is kind of an interesting tequila because normally it's from column stills or from very traditional stills.
Copper pot.
Very rare do you have copper pot still tequila.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
why there's a bit of a reverberating nose.
So yeah, I personally every tequila I hate the nose of tequila. Like it. Yeah. It's
This has
very.
that.
Now we're all doing the Blanco, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
We're starting out with the Blanco. I'm getting some plant chlorophyll.
high sugar.
I was initially thinking like if I was going for a gold, the go-to is always Jose Cuervo. If I was feeling froggy, I'd get like a Cabo Wabo. If I was going clear tequila, I'd usually get Patron Silver. And this smells very familiar to the Patron Silver, the Blanco, but like if you dumped a bunch of pennies in there, and I'm assuming that's
Yeah.
a copper pot.
Right.
Because I think it's much fruitier and lingers. It, like I said, it reverberates on your nose.
Copper pot stills are chosen because they bring more flavor
Yeah,
out
it's
of this
there.
still. To me, this is just because they do actually bake these agaves at a lower temperature than most
Okay.
tequila houses do. And they say that's to preserve more of the citrus flavors. We'll see how that goes. But to me, it's again, this is gonna. I almost shouldn't say this because no one else is gonna have any frame of reference to this. But what I'm getting on the nose here before is, in order to tell if a corn plant has the right amount of phosphorus and it's got the right nutritions, you go out to the field, you cut the stalk out, you chop out everything but the white middle, and then you chew on it. And if it's bitter, it's missing some essential nutrients. If it's sweet, then you've done everything you need to in terms of your soil nutrient package.
Basically,
And
what
so-
Phil's saying is if you slow cook a pork loin, the longer you cook, the more succulent the meat will be in the end.
I don't know if that's what I just said.
I don't think it is.
I think I said other words.
This is
But
begging for
You
salt.
just asked for somebody to have a frame of reference for something that they will not have a frame of reference to. I'm trying to appeal to the audience who's obviously used a crock pot.
I know. I'm just giving my own reference here. But so,
Well,
folks,
you're a dick.
I know. Fuck me, right? So, all right, gentlemen, let's see how this hits the palate. Let's see if we can finally not only smell but taste what the rock is cooking.
Oh. Wildly different than Patron Silver. Honestly, that almost does not taste like tequila. There it is on the finish. But that initial
I'm gonna have to.
No, the initial
So-
front, no.
Yeah.
What did I say? 40%.
Oh yeah, this is a celebrity tequila. It'll be at 40%.
Yeah.
That chlorophyll still comes through for me.
I'm not.
It does now feel like I am chewing on the corn
No,
stalk.
no. I'm getting a little more
You're right.
grain.
You're right. On the front, it like in your mouth at the moment
Grain?
before you swallow.
Of the
Before-
agave.
No, not the agave.
Like when it
Just
first
like-
comes in, it's not like you would think with Jose
Right.
or some of your cheaper
the
ones.
clear
You're like,
Jose, oh
it's
my God,
actually pretty
honestly.
smooth when it comes through. You're like, oh
Yeah.
wow, this is nice. You
Like that
swallow, but
initial
then
hit, you're like, oh, tequila.
it makes it's like making my mouth very dry
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And
To me, it's got like that fresh make spirit of like some gins and vodkas. You know what I mean? Like
you're
there's
definitely
no-
a gin.
Yep.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a gin, but like, okay. Imagine if gin was good.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
It would be
concept.
Terramana tequila.
Like with Blanco tequilas,
That's a good point.
with Blanco tequilas, like you were just saying, there's a specific reaction on your palate that it gives you that dry. Even when you just smell it, you're
You
instantly dry
you
up,
want salt.
but your
Yeah.
mouth starts to water as well at the same time as it's
This
drying up.
this my mouth's
This-
not watering.
This did give it to me, but when I tasted it,
Have you ever
much
tasted
different.
Have you ever tasted a silver coin? Like
Yeah.
take a silver coin, just like bite it. Like I'm kind of getting that when I taste this, like just biting not
There
like
it
a
is.
copper
Okay.
coin or even a quarter, but
I'm gonna
like
try one
there.
more.
This again, I'm going to go back to like the 1800 the Patrons, and it takes a minute for it to get there to remind you that this is specifically a Blanco tequila because the initial flavor, like as soon as it hits your mouth, tequila, and I go, oh wait a minute, this is very mellow, this is very nice, it's very inviting.
I get
Now it's a tequila.
I get the metallic.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I don't know if it's silver coin, but I get the metallic, the copper. Like it's there. It's there in the aftertaste. It's there.
well, like
That's part of the
I
dryness.
knew there was a copper pot still involved with this, but I didn't
I
get
get
the
helps.
copper. It was just
I don't know if it's necessarily copper. It's metallic.
I don't know.
Yes,
Like-
I
yes.
like
There is a metallic element here. There's plant chlorophyll. There is the citrus there, but it's wrapped in the plant chlorophyll in the nose, and on the flavor, it's also wrapped in that metallic. So now, gentlemen, we are gonna go ahead because we're here. We're gonna just go ahead and grade these as we go completely.
Okay.
So as this Blanco tequila, yes, we are going to.
Bless you, sir.
It was so funny I had to chuckle. Yeah, that was it. This Blanco tequila, we are going to grade it as a tequila, as a clear spirit, it's shelving, and then the secret fourth question. So, as a tequila, how would you grade the Rock's Terramana Blanco? Tony G.
4.
Really?
Yep. I like that as a sipper because I think this would do pretty much anything you want a tequila to do without being overly offensive. Obviously, tequila we like the most has always been the state because that's incredible tequila. But this is so non-invasive as a tequila. I think you can do shots of this and not have it be one of those blackout drunk nights where you just casually drink this, you can sip on this, and it's not going to offend the palate from start to finish like some do. This is nice on the very, 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 very front. You know, it's tequila. It's smooth through the middle. The finish reminds you it's a tequila. This would be great with salt.
Yeah, this would go great in cocktails. I don't think I would drink this straight up. Right
Yep.
now.
I could drink this straight up.
Yeah, and I think it's
like
because it's got that chlorophyll, which is almost close to minty for Tony. So, I do find this pretty good. But all right, as a tequila, what do you give it, chicken?
I'm gonna go quite a bit lower. I'm gonna go with a 3 on here. I agree with the cocktailing. You're right. Lime, salt, like this can be fun. You can do a lot of things with this, but yeah, drinking it on its own or having a like, the more I drank it, the more I disliked it. Like my first initial, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, and then I sipped it. The more I sipped it, the more I sipped it, the more I got the metallic flavor, the more I didn't like it. But no, I think this could be a shooter. This is definitely a mixer. I don't think this is
We're on the same page, but just different grading scales.
Yeah.
It's a good party drink.
Yeah, it's a good party
I'm gonna
drink.
give it 3.25 as a tequila. It's
We're
a good.
supposed to go 3.5 to meet us in the middle.
It's a great tequila, but it doesn't blow me away.
That's fine.
Now, again, this is a great mixer, and that cost me about $23 USD. So it's actually
For that money?
pretty good value tequila as well. So if you're one of those people that just wants to keep a tequila in stock, this would be a good one. And because it's the Rock, it's a conversation piece.
People do specifically request like tequila shots. And I think this is one that could serve up many people and not have people getting sick in the bar because this is actually not invasive on your palate or stomach.
Yeah, it is a lot softer.
Yeah.
You're right. So there is that. So all right. Now, as a clear spirit, this is putting it up against gins. This is putting it up against vodkas. It's putting it up against a lot of white dogs, a lot of unaged whiskeys. So,
Go ahead.
2 stars as a clear spirit. Actually, no, I'm gonna 2.5. That's what I meant to say. 2.5 as a clear spirit. It's right there at the middle. But in the world of vodka, in the world of gin, in the world of Blanco tequila, in the world of mezcal, this is just above middle of the road. Okay, because there's a lot there. So that's where I'm going.
I'm not gonna totally disagree. I'm gonna go 2 1/4. For the only reason I didn't go 2 is because of the value. Like it's not bad for the price. But yeah, for a clear spirit, 2 1/4 I think is plenty fair.
3.75.
As a clear spirit.
You're telling me there's a lot more gin and vodka that you'd rather sip on than this.
Got a
You're
good
full of
point.
shit.
You got a good point there. You got a point.
There's vodkas I would, not gin.
Really about the only other thing I can think of is other tequilas I want to sip on.
Yeah,
There
other
you go.
tequilas and other vodkas. There's a few
I'm not much
vodkas
for
down.
sipping on vodka. That's
There's a
gotta
few
be,
vodkas.
that's
You,
gotta be
you gotta
part of
try the
something.
Skull vodka.
That's so. We have some disagreements here, but I was at 2.5. But I think that's quite fair. It's right in the middle of the road. Now we'll get to,
Great sipper mixer for clear spirit.
and especially for the price point, you really can't complain because it is. And
There you
I will
go.
get to that. That's part of my overall equation.
Let's
But,
go to the next one.
well, hang on. Shelving.
I don't know. Hang on. You got to have another one, right?
Now for tequilas, we just have to. If you got a third,
Can you call this a cask gauge? Anything?
well, no, because this one we're grading as a tequila and as a clear spirit. That one we are grading as
All
a
right.
tequila and as a cask age because it's been aged in a cask.
All right.
So that's how we're grading
There's
that.
no other scale we can compare it to.
We will let the fans let us know in the comments if there is another scale.
Because
you'd
if
like
we're
us to
talking
add.
in terms of just overall spirit, since it's a clear spirit, it's a Blanco tequila, I would that's the scale where I would give this very low.
As a Blanco tequila,
Not specifically as a Blanco tequila, but just in terms of just a spirit in general, if that makes any sense. I would grade this very low on that end.
okay.
So
okay.
you're including bourbons, whiskeys, every
Sure.
like okay.
As a
If you're talking just in
Wide spectrum.
trying to find
If
the,
you're
the
talking
wide spectrum,
of
yeah.
competition of all, the
If you
stuff
put
that's
this
out there-
against rums, whiskeys, scotches, I would give it a 1.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it's going to come up very, very short because it's not high.
This
proof.
is
It's
if I'm going
very
out to
weak,
look
yeah.
for something fun to drink tonight or something interesting, this is not on my list.
There you
Oh
go.
man, I gotta say, Rock, right now we are stomping a mud hole in your tequila, but you
If
should be
you
used to that.
smell-
Come on, Austin did that for
kind.
years.
I was pretty kind.
Now, yeah, he's
Up until that point.
liking this stuff, but now we will get to that. Now, the secret fifth question or the secret fourth question, I'm gonna save once we reviewed both of these
Okay.
whiskeys. So now we move tequila.
Did we pick a shelf?
We have not yet.
Bottom.
Bottom shelf.
Bottom.
Yeah, for easy reaching, and this would actually be a well whiskey.
Yeah.
Well tequila for me because if people want to come over and have shots, and I'm
Yeah.
entertaining a lot of
That is
people,
perfect.
this is what
Yes.
I'm grabbing.
Yes.
But I will get to that a little later.
Instead of spending $20 on a Jose Cuervo,
That's what I mean.
now you have something from the Rock. You spend an extra
But I
$3
don't
for
think
it.
guys
You can have a
give
good
us enough
conversation.
shit
Yeah, it's a
because
conversation.
I would rather
Yeah.
have a round of shots of this than 1,800 per drink.
Now let's see how the reposado hits
All right.
the nose and the palate and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the reposado. It's been aged in American white oak ex bourbon casks.
Now this feels okay. Now this, am I wrong? This just smells like Jose Cuervo Gold.
Kinda.
Like, I know there's a very specific nose to gold tequila, but
I get the similarity with it.
if Jose Cuervo Gold had just a touch more lime to it, plus softer,
Yeah, it is. So, like I was about to say, Jose Cuervo Gold. Is
It's almost
awful.
Yeah,
offensive.
it is. Yeah.
if that wasn't as offensive and a little bit sweeter, I think this is
This
basically
is-
it.
This is basically what Gold wishes it was.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's a better way of putting it.
Nose wise, yeah, this is exactly what your cheap
The
Jose Cuervo
white
Gold would
oak
look like.
really cuts a lot of the chlorophyll out. It cuts a lot of the parts of the nose I didn't like out of the Blanco, and I suspect I might because I'm usually not a fan of reposado tequila. I usually go for the Blanco.
I think I have a
this
feeling that
one-
we're all going to go the other way on this one.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, let's see how this one
Yes.
hits the nose, and then the palate.
Salty. Not strong. Just even 40?
That's not strong at all.
That's still 40.
That's dangerous.
That is interesting.
That's not even.
Hold on, for tequila, that is very interesting.
I've had wines that go down not that easy.
Hang on, I really gotta smack my palate around
There is
to
a-
remind myself that this is still
There is a
tequila.
dryness in your mouth a
Yeah.
little bit, but the fact that wow, just a couple months in white oak casks did all that, huh? I find that fascinating.
I've never had a tequila
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, the palate is not Jose Cuervo Gold at all. It's its own animal entirely.
Smells like it. Does not taste like it. No, this has got more of a. It takes your tongue and it makes it very stagnant. It coats your tongue, not thick, but a thin layer on your tongue, and it just kind of coats that for a second, and then you breathe, and then the air kind of breaks through that coat.
You know what the coating kind of seems like to me? If either of you ever had agave nectar,
Bill,
Yeah.
we know tequila's made with agave.
but have you had the nectar?
No.
Like now, I will say I've had it before as a sweetener. I'm sorry, I just have to say this. This is from the heart. Agave nectar fucking sucks, but in terms of flavor profile identification, this actually now again just as a sweetener in and of itself it works as a cooking ingredient. But if you're using that as a sweetener, no, it's meh.
This is interesting. It almost coats your tongue.
Yeah.
And for me, it seems like it's coated
But the finish
in
is so
agave
light.
nectar.
And it's
But
almost got a
slight.
minty finish.
Yeah. The finish is very. It's not. It's almost not there. Like, it's almost like you.
There's
had
like just a-
sprinkle of salt and just flipped it on the back of your tongue.
Wow.
Which I
actually,
wonder if this would work well with margaritas.
This
would do
this-
fantastic.
Yes, this would be great.
This would be a fantastic. So, all right, we go on to grading.
All right.
Now, as a tequila, we're going to do tequila. And as a cask aged spirit, it's shelving. And then we go on to the secret fourth question for both of these tequilas. So, as a tequila, Chicken, you've had quite a few tequilas in your day.
I'm gonna go. Actually, for this one specifically, this is actually really interesting. This is different, but it's really good. I'm still trying to process everything, but like it coats your tongue. It keeps you. I did not have like any like negative feelings or tastes or. This was good.
It's drinkable.
It's
Like,
really.
these are two different products.
Oh, absolutely, they are. To me, they are. They're absolutely two different avenues. Completely, they're two different roads. Different, yeah. I'm gonna go 3.75 for this being a tequila. This is actually really good. What did this run you?
That one ran me $29, so it's a little more, but just a few bucks more. The Rock,
Absolutely worth
The
it.
Rock even said when he was putting this together, and I'm going to do my best, Rock. Terramana is supposed to be for the people. We want this to be a tequila available for everyone. I could have made a premium tequila and charged a mint for it, but no, I want a Terramana to be everywhere, so everyone could enjoy it. And so, yeah, that was his idea: is don't make an overpriced tequila, because there is a point with, especially premium tequilas, you price yourself out of the market. Like Clase Azul is charging $115 a bottle, and they don't move to the same extent that these do. I suspect he probably moves 20 bottles of this in the time that Clase Azul takes to move one bottle. So he's probably moving
Sure.
a lot more inventory going with this idea. So, Tony, as a tequila, how do you grade this? Tough, isn't it?
It is because I'm grading this on a scale of which one would I sit around and sip, not which one would I put in
I'd
the
definitely
blender.
sip this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd blend the Blanco, or I'd sip the Blanco. I would blend the Reposado. I think I'm going to give this one a 3.25.
He and I are kind of like, I would sip on the Reposado. I would mix with the Blanco,
I'm
which
the other
is
way.
fascinating.
Other way.
I would mix with both,
Which,
but
which to me is very strange because I normally am not a big fan of Reposado. I usually go for the Blanco,
me too.
just because that's my personal palate.
Oh, yeah, growing to state.
It was a Blanco. So, I'm just trying to chase something. We'll get there. But as a tequila, I'm gonna give this 3.5 stars out of 5 stars. For those who don't know, we rate on a 5-star scale. So 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really do find this as a pretty good tequila. Now, as a cask-aged spirit, keep in mind this has only been aged for a few months versus years. So that's something to keep in mind with your score. Chicken, I'll let you go first.
Now this is going against all spirits cast age. Not as impressive as a lot of other ones. Even for a tequila, it's not that impressive as a cast age. It's a good tequila. It's a really good tequila. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go 2.5. Maybe no, I'll go 2.75. I think it's worthy of being above average as a overall cast age.
I'm going to agree with you at 2.75 for cask age because it's just above that middle of the road. But like again, you're talking wide world of sports when you get to cask age. We're talking like 21-year-old cognacs. We're talking 18-year-old scotches. It's a wide world of sports there. So T, what would you grade this Reposado tequila as a cask age?
The nose suggests that this is going to be a lot more intrusive as a tequila.
Yeah. How is it? Tequila in my nose.
Ah. Yeah.
Oh wait. It's not meant to be.
Woo. Yeah, I need a lime.
Woo!
It's gonna stay in this spot.
Yeah. Nothing like a shot of tequila.
You're right up
the nose. Okay.
that. I feel like the nose suggests that it's going to be a lot more intrusive as a tequila. But then when you take a sip, it's actually a little light in terms of what you expect for flavor profile. Even not like a good, cheap, dirty Jose Cuervo. Like, you have some preconceived notions. So for me, it's not disappointing. It's just not what I was expecting, and that's probably one of the very harsh and go 2.2.
Okay, there it is, folks. Now we move on to shelving.
That's where I'm going to go all over the place again, and I think this would be a middle for me.
Interesting.
Possible on middle. I think it's more about how much space do you have, middle to bottom, quick grab, or like I can move it up to the middle later at a certain point. But
this one is going to sit right next to the regular Blanco Terramana just because they're right next to each other. And it's a good conversation piece. So this one would probably be bottom shelf or there just at my bar, physically at the bar for sipping. Now, this is the interesting part, folks. The secret question, the fourth question is, this bottle runs empty, will you seek another one? And that's the question for me. Now the question to pose to both of you. Tony, would you seek out a bottle of Terramana tequila? And if you did, which one would you prefer?
How much was the ball?
$23.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going to get.
Chicken.
I would get the Reposado, and I don't know if I would keep it on hand, but I think it would last quite a while. Maybe I would.
That would definitely. I think that would be if you're going to entertain for a party. You might grab a bottle because
that's why I come back to the Blanco, because I think this would be that tray shot with the lime and the salt. You set that in front of a group of people, and they're going to be much more impressed with the shot than they would be maybe with the Reposado. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just my personal taste.
Now, the question for me is, will I replace these bottles once these bottles are empty? Well, actually, the answer is going to be yes.
Really?
Because these are going to be my bar place mixing tequilas. Like, these are going to be the tequilas that when I have guests over, I have a lot of people around.
No, you're gonna do that.
Well, either one, really.
You're gonna do that.
I'd probably, yes, personally, if I could only buy one, I'd go with Riposado. Just, I would keep Riposado on hand. Tony?
Yeah, now it's.
Yep, and now he's blending the two. Know that the Riposado is
It doesn't matter here, Phil.
Okay. So how's it on
Nobody
the nose?
knows.
How's it on the nose? I gotta know.
There's
As a
nobody's gonna
blend,
know.
how is the blend master blended? Is blenderific blends?
Well, I'm kind of just waiting for Wayne Johnson to give me a call and go. You kind of nailed it out of the park there, Tony G. This is why you're a 9-time champion, but I digress. Well, no, honestly, it does nothing in terms of smell. It really just smells.
Now,
I'm wrong.
But now, Tony, I don't know if he's ever going to get to call you because, like, let's be frank, The Rock is one of my personal best friends, my swimming coach, my jujitsu partner, and general. He's just one of those guys that just calls me like, so Phil, what is it that you think I should do about, like, so who should I endorse in the election? Like, The Rock comes to me for all of the big events in his life. I was like, so Rock, I don't know if you should go with whiskey. I think tequila's the way you should go. And I'm glad the kid.
Smart move. I'm glad you helped the kid out.
Now, the kid's got potential. He reminds me a lot of a younger version of myself.
Yeah, sure.
Infinite potential, but, he's got a little more polishing. What can I say? So, folks, Tony, anything you'd like to say to the people before we let them go?
Give that a B+ blend because. No.
Oh.
So, Chicken, here at the Chicken Coop, anything you'd like to say to these beautiful people?
No, I love tequila no matter what. These are easy buys, good conversation pieces. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's beloved name. $20-$30 for a bottle. If you're gonna make some margaritas, go pick it up. It's worth a try. It's not gonna break the bank.
You've made worse decisions with more money.
Exactly.
Trust me. So, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for this very interesting premium tequila review. Thank you for joining us, all of you Rudy Poo candy ass jabronis. All of you folks, you have no idea you have sampled the People's Champion tequila,
And if you
the
don't
Rocks
like
tequila.
the Blanco, you can always take this bottle.
Turn it sideways.
You can take it. You can shine it up real nice. You can turn that sumbitch sideways, and you can stick it straight up onto your middle shelf.
Oh.
Family friendly.
Okay, all right. So, folks, thank you for joining us for this very special review of the Rocks Tequila Terramana. We dropped a rock bottom and a people's elbow on it, folks, and we were there. And yes, it was a great tequila. We were all hoping for the Rock at WrestleMania 17 quality. We got the Rock at WrestleMania 15 quality. It was still pretty good. But, folks, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Give us a like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you around the bend, folks. Later. Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for another premium spirits review. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., joined by my indomitable broadcast partner in inebriation, the one, the only,
Tony fucking G.
Like, share, subscribe, folks. and we are here to check out Patron Estate Release. This is a high-end, 100% agave, high-end tequila.
As you say, I like Patron. I've had a good chunk of, like, I prefer the clear Patron. I kind of prefer like the clear 1800. I've become more snobby when it comes to my tequila back from my youthful days when I could drink Golden Montezuma and didn't really care what I was ingesting into my body. But my favorite's Cabo Wabo. Always has been, always probably will be. But let's see how this one stacks up.
So Patron Estate Release, let's see. Tequila Blanco 100% de agave. 100% Weber Blue agave used to craft this inaugural limited edition Patron Estate Release tequila was cultivated on the grounds of the Hacienda Patron distillery in Atonosillo, El Alto, Jalisco, Mexico. I think I got half
I
of
think
that
you're
right.
very close.
Yes. While the balance of Patron's agave is grown on farms spread throughout the Highlands region, these particular plants mature just steps away from the front door of the distillery and represent the first such harvest from this special terroir. The agave was then crushed, fermented, and distilled using the ancient Tahona process, creating a highly complex and robust Blanco tequila.
Yeah.
The 84 proof was specifically selected to bring out the herbal and citric notes of the harvest.
Well,
so this is
intricate.
This is a labor of love, agave origin, date of harvest spring 2018. And yeah, it tells you the yield,
Wow.
everything. Like it's
Wow. Highly detailed.
Yeah, very, very detailed on everything. Interesting. So let's see how it hits the nose.
Ooh, wow.
Very thick.
It smells
not fruity at all.
No, but yeah, you're right. It smells thick, but it smells as a nice blended margarita would if you order one and it comes to the table, you sit down, and this is the smell you get. So you can already tell that you're already going to have some of those fruit notes already in the alcohol itself.
Yep. Actually,
tequila.
For fans of the K.O.E Nation, this was the bottle that I used for the margarita of Extreme that I made for Cinco de Mayo.
Wow.
So it has that esteemed distinction, but I haven't done a singular review of it yet. So
well, here we are.
I think it's time. There's like a candied sweetness. It's not.
It's like a
candy cane-ish. I know that sounds strange, but that's the first thought.
I can see why you think that.
Shall we?
Wow.
The herbal.
Yeah.
Like the chlorophyll of the plant. That all comes through.
Very, not minty, but yes, herby. That's a very good way to put it. No burn really there.
Like when you
subtle burn, but I mean, as far as tequila goes, that's
like when you drink
very
this,
smooth.
Isn't the first thought that comes into your head like a green leaf?
Yeah, like a mint tea, something along those. Yeah.
An agave.
Mm-hmm.
Or an aloe. Yeah, like I think of aloe.
Wow, that is remarkably smooth. Yeah, that is very nice. It's not overly sweet. It's very subtly sweet. But yeah, you're right. Like a mint leaf or an aloe. Yeah, I enjoy that.
Ever had agave nectar?
I don't believe I have.
If you like agave nectar, you will love this Patron. Agave nectar is a sweetener some people use.
Okay.
You either love it or you hate it. There's no.
Oh, this is very nice.
Yeah, I
think I would like that.
This just tastes like agave nectar with an alcohol content. I don't know how else to put it. That's
It tastes like it should be thicker, but it doesn't feel thick in your mouth.
Can you imagine the cocktails you could do with this?
As I say, this would be a very nice cocktail tequila. What does a bottle of this run?
$86 USD.
See, I don't know if I would be doing a crap load of cocktails with it, but it is tequila, so it's justifiable. And this is very smooth and very nice.
I would do this for very special occasions. As you can see, I had some good friends of mine over to my house who they were all members of the military, and they would do their toast with tequila. So as you can see, many a toasts were had that evening. It was a fun evening. Yeah, it's a fine tequila.
Yeah.
Way better than but I won't even bring up other brands. But this is even better than other Patrons.
Yeah, definitely. I say this doesn't remind me of Patron. It's been a while since I've had Patron, but this does not reminisce of other times I've had Patron.
It's a tequila you can easily drink neat.
Yeah, very easily.
Which is rare. And
no
this would
problem.
be one that you could even enjoy just on the rocks, which is also rare.
That's impressive. I like it. So how are we grading this?
Okay. A couple of scales here. As a tequila, as a clear spirit, because that's what it is, it's clear. It's shelving.
Okay.
And then my secret fourth question. So, as a tequila.
As a tequila, I really like this. I'm going to go 4 1/4.
4 1/4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really like it.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to give this 4.75. This is probably the best tequila I've ever had in my life. Can you name a bottle of tequila that you've had that's better?
It's been a long time since I've had Cabo, but
That's right.
this would be right there. All right, you know what you're talking about. 4.5. I'll go 4.5.
Hey! Now, this one's interesting. I think maybe we'll add actually another one. Product de agave, because mezcal and tequila are both products of agave. So, as the whole world of agave, tequila versus mezcal. You've never had mezcal.
No, I don't have any.
Okay, we'll get into that later, folks. That will come late. Perhaps that'll be what we do for the bottle killing review of that. Because we got some mezcal we got to get into, folks. So we'll get into that later. But okay, as a clear spirit, comparing this to gins, vodkas, White Dog.
I'm gonna go 4.5 again because that's it's really nice. It's really smooth. Like you could do a lot with it, and it doesn't disgust you to the point where you don't want to drink any more of it.
See my gin review.
Yeah, this beats the hell out of gin, and it beats the shit out of most vodkas. So yeah, this is
I'm gonna agree.
Beautiful clear spirit.
Yeah, 4.5, and yeah, I don't know if this has been cask aged for all that long. Obviously, it hasn't for very long. Otherwise, it'd be a reposado.
Yeah,
but it's a blanco, so it's white. There's no. So for just coming out of the agave, distilling it, and then probably bottling it. This is amazing stuff.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's very impressive.
Like this is probably like 20 years ago. This is the stuff that the guys who ran the Patron distillery. This is the stuff that probably was like in the boss's cabinet.
That's
like
fair.
This is the good stuff. And so, yeah, I gotta agree, 4.5. So in terms of shelving, here's an interesting one.
Man, that's tough for me. I don't know if I could ever justify putting a tequila on my top shelf, but there's no way I would put this on my bottom shelf. And it doesn't quite feel right in the middle either because it's so nice. If there was ever going to be a bottle of tequila on my top shelf, this would probably be the one. But yeah, in between there, middle top.
I pulled this bottle off of my top shelf, and it's the only tequila that sits on my top shelf. There's no other tequila that I own that sits on the top shelf. There's plenty that are in the middle shelf. There's some that are in my, like, I actually have a bottle of Patron orange citronage, and it's kind of like a triple sec.
Yeah.
And so I use that for a lot of cocktails.
Sure.
Believe it or not, it mixes with this quite well.
Of course
if you
it
have
does.
some fruit juice, so, you know, same distillery, of course. But yeah, this is ascendant for, you know, this is definitely top shelf. Now, Tony, $86 USD. Would you add this to your liquor collection?
I would probably scour the earth looking for it on sale. I would definitely consider picking up a bottle of this, but I wouldn't go out of my way, but I would be on the lookout for it for maybe a little bit more reasonable of a price.
What price would be snatch it up definitely?
Probably 70 to 75. I mean, I'm not talking like a massive price drop, but
Okay.
if you're saying 86,
$60, I'd like.
oh yeah, hands down for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually very reasonable because I do think when this is empty, I'm likely going to replace it, but I'm going to take my time doing it until I actually have it. But as you can see, I don't drink very much of this. Tequila is a tremendous celebration drink. Like I said, when my military buddies came over, and it was a toast to these guys, a toast to these gals, a toast to everyone. It was a great night. There was all these toasts. Everybody had a marvelous time, and it was from Patron Estate Release. So I think I'll probably keep a bottle of this on hand until I can find a tequila to unseat it.
Okay.
So until further notice, this is the top shelf tequila, but we're going to have to do some further exploration in that world.
All right.
So, Tony, anything you'd like to say to the people at home?
I drank that faster than I thought I would.
Would you like a little?
Just a little splashy splash.
Just a little splash.
That's good.
All right. Well, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this has been our review of Patron Estate Release 100% de agave hecho in Mexico. Folks, I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Del Tony G. Thanks for watching.
Welcome, one and all, to a premium versus series. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., joined by my indomitable broadcast partner in inebriation, the one, the only,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe.
We are getting into something very interesting, folks. Premium mezcal, as you've seen us review the excellent Del Maguey, I suspect probably one of the better mezcals on God's green earth. Probably the best.
All right.
Versus Patron Estate Release. So it's pretty easy to keep track. The Glencairn glass is mezcal. The Copita nosing glass is tequila. And we are going to compare two of the top ends of this spectrum. Patron Estate Release, 100% de agave, and Del Maguey Mezcal, 100% Tobala agave. And now, interesting fact. It is claimed that it is impossible to get a hangover when you drink 100% de agave. It's all the other things that give you the hangover. Now, this is what's claimed. Now, if you've ever had a horrible, horrible hangover from, like, say, Jose Cuervo, that is not 100% de agave, and that is probably going to be responsible for some of the worst hangovers you've ever had.
What?
These two, on the other hand, 100% de agave. So let's compare, if we will. Let's start off with the familiar tequila. Everybody knows a little bit about tequila. Less people know about mezcal. So let's start off with the nose on tequila.
For being such a high quality, top shelf tequila, it does boast a very familiar tequila smell. And there's not a ton else there. There is a sweetness on the nose, and there's a lingering spice.
When I drink this, I get agave nectar. Like,
Yeah.
as you probably remember from our review of this,
Yeah.
this is just like distilled agave nectar is what this tastes like.
Yeah,
It's
sweet herbal mint. It's
Yes.
very, very smooth. It finishes very clean. There's no bite there. It's just that's just a
Marvelous.
lovely,
Marvelous.
lovely tequila.
Yeah, if there's anybody in the audience that prefers agave nectar as your sweetener, this is going to be a really tough bottle to put down because it's just, like I said, imagine just distilled agave nectar, and this is what it is. So really, really good stuff. And as of right now, the top tequila
Mm-hmm.
of K.O.E Nation. Now, let's compare that nose to Del Maguey Mezcal.
Oh,
Just a lot
world's
thicker.
difference. Yeah.
Now,
Oh, it's just
apparently, mezcal, they apparently bake the agave underground. They like dig a pit,
okay.
throw hot coals in it, bury it.
So that explains a bit of the mustiness.
Yes, there's a,
Okay.
and also something that not a lot of people know. All tequila is mezcal, but not all mezcal is tequila, because mezcal is the catch-all term for all distilled products of agave. But tequila is a very specific process of distilling agave. So that's what I mean when all tequila is mezcal, but not all mezcal is tequila, because mezcal is it's kind of like the difference between bourbon and whiskey. You know, like they're two different things, but like not all whiskey is bourbon, but all bourbon is whiskey. So that's the best way of thinking of it.
Okay. Well, yeah, this nose, now that I've got
Complicated.
Now that I've got that word musty in my head, that's the only thing I can think.
And yeah, there's like a soil aspect to
Yeah.
it. Like
100%. You can tell that the earth was involved in creating this elixir.
Mhm.
It's very powerful on the nose.
And yeah, there's plant chlorophyll and just a minty smokiness.
Yeah, that finish is just so. Scotch drinkers would call this peaty.
It ain't quite peaty.
It's
like,
not. It's not peaty, but it's familiar.
Peaty like a Lagavulin 16 or something. Like
Yeah.
that. It's going to be a little different from what you're used to, but
Yeah.
if you love peaty scotches, you are going to adore this. Like this is the mezcal for you. If you're one of those guys that likes scotches from the Isles, if you like the medicinal smoky scotches like Lagavulin 16,
Yeah.
K.O.E, you would really. This would be the mezcal.
This
for
would
you.
be 100%. There's so much to unfold here, and once you actually like rattled off and read through the list of notes and expressions represented here, I think you could get deep into it. It's a unique thing, and it's complex. It's not an everyday one.
This
That's
one,
for
when you
sure.
go back to it after the mezcal, like put a nose of the mezcal up first, then come back to this and see if you don't smell aloe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, see what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
like you get like an aloe
definitely.
out of this. This
Yes.
like it. The image that comes to my mind is just immediately like an agave and a vine. You know, like I
Yeah.
don't know how else to, like, just green leaf, green life.
A greenhouse.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So
This just it feels earthy. It feels just plant-based, botanicals. It's very complex. Whereas it smells very inviting comparatively. It smells like tequila, but goodness, going back and forth, hitting that and its botanical rich nose, and then going that it doesn't even smell the same
yeah,
as it does on its own.
hard to believe that these two come from the same plant species. Granted, two different subsets, but they're both from agave. One's just from a very rare mountain agave and baked into the soil.
Yeah, the mezcal smells the same through and through, no matter what. But going back and forth now, this almost smells not even familiar as it did when we smelled it on its own. And honestly, this is gonna be a terrible nosing expression, but I'm getting a cleanliness type smell from this now, almost like a whatever the nosings they are, whatever the scents are that they put in like a baby wipe.
Okay.
I know it's very specific, but when you
I'm getting that now that you've mentioned it.
When you go back and forth, you get that.
Can you tell baby wipes is a big part of his life?
Yeah, I smell a lot of those. You definitely it's undeniable now. Whatever that cleanly nose is that they put into the scent of baby wipes, you get that here when you go back and forth. I think it improves the scent of the tequila. Honestly, this stays the same. The mezcal remains the same.
I wonder if you were to leave this in a glass alone for 45 minutes and come back to it, if it would open up, change, or I suspect it would be exactly as intense as it was when you put it down.
I don't think this is going to change a lot. I think this is as it is. The tequila, maybe. Not a lot though.
Yeah.
They both still do remain about the same on the palate though, regardless of how you go back and forth.
I'm just curious. I'm asking you to really rack your mind here.
Okay.
And I'm racking my mind here.
All
This
right.
mezcal. Can you think of a cocktail to use it for? Yeah, gotta really rack your brain there, don't you? I guess if you're going to like the mojitos or the navy grog that have like 15 ingredients, that almost doesn't count. You know what I mean?
Diet Coke, orange, vanilla. I'm totally kidding.
Jesus. Wow.
Totally kidding.
Wow.
No, this would take, if you were going to cocktail something as complex as this, you would have to get into blending different kinds of fruit and plant-based mixers. You definitely have to garnish it with
I was about to say,
a leaf of some sort.
You're like shaving off fresh.
Yeah, that's what I'm
crushing
saying.
allspice. You're getting deep.
This would be a Top Chef style cocktail if you're going to do that. And I'm sure there's a way to do it, and I'm sure it'd be marvelous. But
I just can't think of one.
Nothing stands out to me.
Not that I would do, anyways.
No, I think it is as it is, and I don't think you should really bother trying to go past neat.
It's so rare because, like I said in the review, this Tobala mezcal, Tobala agave can only be found in certain shady spots at high altitude at relatively low temperatures. So it's very hard. So it's just so rare. And this is just this village has been making mezcal this way for who knows how long. Like before there was written records, probably. So it is an interesting view into the past, and also the Del McGay Corporation prides everything on being totally sustainable and everything you're giving back to the community. It's a good story to go with it. Patron estate release tequila. This is just ascendant craftsmanship from a top level manufacturer, because this is a distiller that can produce at an industrial scale. These are producers that this is an entire village's efforts put into this bottle. So it's almost not like it is, but isn't fair to compare them, because you know what I mean? Because this is a top end tequila, this is a top end.
The processes are completely different, though. I agree.
The end product, like again, if think about it, I mean, single malt barley or corn. Think of all the different whiskey expressions we've gotten out of those two grains. this is much the same. These are two different ways of arriving at distillation. This mezcal is much more ancient, which does interest me a bit. This tequila, though, is ascendant. So, Tony, we're here in a versus series. And we're here to decide for the K.O.E. Nation what is the de agave of extreme. So, if you were to have to pick up one of these two bottles, your money, hard-earned dollars, is going to have to go to one of these two bottles. This one, 110 USD. This one, 86 USD. Which one would you personally opt for if you had to pick one up?
I
know suspense, folks. It's two different experiences.
I would 100% pick that.
You know what? I hate to agree, but this is marvelous.
It is.
Like I said, agave nectar distilled, put into a bottle, and given to you. This would be the one. So tequila is the winner.
It
now,
is.
if you're judging by sales of mezcal versus tequila worldwide,
Not fair.
we're not the only people to come to that conclusion.
Yeah, no.
That tequila's awesome. Now, mezcal, you're great. We love you, mezcal. We've got so much more to discover about you. But this is so high-end, so complex, that it's really for seasoned folks like Tony and I who have developed our palates. This is not an introductory bottle. No. This is not for the faint of heart.
This is advanced. I'm glad this isn't something we just happened across and dove into, because we would have been completely turned off by it as an introductory spirit. It's just not even in the same wheelhouse. Whereas this is a lot more familiar, but you have to have a good familiarity with lower end tequilas to truly appreciate how well this has been distilled and blended and put together, and it's very nice. So smooth.
Yeah, I don't know how long a state release is going to be a thing, but as long as it is, I'm going to try and keep a bottle of this on my shelf. This, I have a feeling we've got a lot more explorations to do with it, and we'll do a second take, and I'm going to look up, see if there's any possibilities of any cocktails we've done with this.
I would be interested.
And this is also one, because it's so interesting, I'm going to have other cast members of the K.O.E. Nation give their reviews of this one. So, marvelous tequila, marvelous mezcal. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Gotta know how the
You
blend
knew that
is.
was happening.
Yep. So tell us how the wait till the oxygen hits your mouth.
You know what?
Oh no.
It's actually pretty good.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, it actually is. I hate to say, but that actually pairs nicely together.
I don't believe you.
I'm sorry. It kind of fills in the gaps for each other, doesn't it?
Yeah, there is a definite bite in the middle of your tongue. So that's a lot of alcohol.
What this one lacks, the other fills the void. It kind of it goes here. You know, if you're going to go a margarita route, you
1
could
ounce this, 1
yeah,
ounce of this,
half and half.
2 ounces of this.
Yep. I think
we're gonna have to do that.
I think that's a must. I think that's an absolute try. I think that would actually be very good.
Well, our resident blend master, Tony G, coming up with another amazing blend, folks. So, as I'm known to say around here, All that being said, this has been our versus of premium tequila versus premium mezcal. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E, signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner in blending and inebriation, the one, the only,
Tony G. Thanks for stopping by.
live in Houston. Tony, remember places and things?
I just barely do. Yeah.
Yeah, back when you could go to places and do things.
Yeah.
It was a different time then. So while we were there, we had a lot of fun. We went down to Specs, and I picked up this particular bottle just minutes before the show started. Welcome, one and all, to another premium spirits review. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E, here with my indomitable broadcast partner in inebriation, the one, the only,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe.
and we are here to finally get into this bottle of Del Maguey Single Village Mezcal 100% Tobala Agave from, remember how that village is said? Oaxaca, Mexico. And Tobala is a very different kind of agave. It's the rarest agave. It's only grown in shady areas at high altitudes, at low temperatures compared to most of the country of Mexico.
Sounds very specific.
Very specific, very hard to come up with the growing conditions, very hard to find, very rare.
Wow.
And this is a Tobala mezcal made in the village of Oaxaca, which I like the Del Maguey style of each different mezcal is a single village. Each village has their own style. There's one village, I don't believe it's this one, but they actually use a ceramic pot still, which is the same style that the Greeks were using in distillation 5,000 years ago. So every single village has their own little flair that they bring to mezcal, but this one is kind of recognized as one of their top ends, as one of the highest ends of the mezcal line from Del Maguey. And the fact that it's from such a rare plant and it takes such labor to get it, and it takes 4 Tobala agave to equal 1 normal agave. So you even have to find so much more. It's just, so there's a reason why this bottle is not cheap. It was $115 USD, but I had heard nothing but good about it, and I figured if we're gonna try mezcal, do it right. And the one thing I do like about this one, no worm or anything, no gimmicks like that. That's a gimmick.
I don't remember a time I've ever had mezcal, so if I have, I don't recall it. So this is essentially my first real foray into mezcal, and apparently we're doing it at the top.
Yep. If you're gonna do something, folks, I suppose you best do it right. And oh my lord, here we go.
All right.
Here we go. Interesting smell. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really had a lot of mezcal in my life, but
that is strong. I haven't even gotten it to my nose yet.
Oh boy, that is strong.
Wow.
There's a lot going on here.
That's very intense.
That's complex.
That's a lot of different smells.
Just a bouquet of
bundled.
I'm smelling greeneries. I'm smelling floral flowers. I'm smelling roots.
I was just about to say like a very freshly dug up root of some sort. I was literally just about to say root. And a nice tingle on the nose. If you get nice and deep into it.
Grassiness, isn't
there?
It says that on the bottle, which is why I like.
It gets sweet if you get a good, hard, up close smell of
Just get up close and
Yeah.
personal. Boy,
Hmm.
this is gonna be interesting.
it. Okay, well,
Shall we?
I think so.
Mm. Mm.
Well, I did not expect that at all.
It was smoky.
Oh yeah, wow,
Extremely minty.
smoky minty on the back for sure.
That plant chlorophyll is there.
Yeah,
Like I can't describe it any other way than just like now. For this is gonna be very specific, but one of the ways that in my cornfields I can tell if a plant has enough potassium is you go out and you actually cut the stalk out. You take the white middle of the stalk and you chew on it, and if it's sweet, you have enough potassium in your soil. And this just kind of reminds me of that process. Like there's that chlorophyll, there's that plant, grassy. Again, it just my brain just imagines the color green drinking it. But yeah, it's like a very smoky. Wow, I mean, there's
wow.
like tequila qualities, there's Scotch qualities.
I was
there's-
thinking, yeah, that smokiness reminds me of a peated Scotch, but in a slightly different way. And my goodness,
This is complex.
yeah, there's a lot to unfold here. That immediate taste is almost like a citrusy soda, and then it kind of dissipates, and then you're left with that minty, woodsy.
That smoky
Smokiness,
smoky
yeah.
minty, which
Hmm.
I normally never like that combination, but this one pulls it off in a different way. Fascinating.
Orange peel, maybe.
Yeah, there's some like fruit expression. It doesn't know
Citrus,
quite what.
yeah.
Pardon me.
This is interesting. I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but this is out there. This is
Yeah,
just,
this is different.
this is very different.
And it's extremely rare.
Yeah.
I mean, just because of how much effort has to go into it. So this one, again, I'm no expert in mezcals. I have a feeling this is fairly high up there.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna go ahead and say, because it's not fair to grade it as a mezcal, because we need to go a little deeper. And I think we got plenty of room in this bottle to do so and compare it to others. I would say we're just gonna call this the top end mezcal for now, and it's basically the job of other mezcals to try and unseat this
There you go.
as the mezcal of extreme. But I think it's quite fair to grade it as a clear spirit. So this is going up against a lot of tequilas, a lot of vodkas, gins, white rums, a lot of different things in the world of clear spirits. So how would you rate this? Tough to rate, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so complicated. It's like you don't even know where to start,
Yeah.
begin, or middle, or end it.
I'll give it a 3.25 on clear.
3.25. And
Yeah.
why do you give it that grade, sir?
Mostly because I didn't know what to expect, and this is very interesting. It's unique. It's complex, but I don't know what you would do with this other than drink it crisply like this.
This is a sipping,
Yeah.
just really dig into it. Like,
Yeah.
let a dram of it sit for 45 minutes and
Yep.
see if it opens up when you come back to it.
Yep.
This is the connoisseur's drink. Like
There you
this
go.
is yeah, I wouldn't mix this. I wouldn't even put this on the rocks. I
No.
sure as hell wouldn't cook with it. It's meant to be sipped and enjoyed neat, and
Yeah.
that is how I will enjoy it. And so I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I'm gonna be a little more generous. I'm gonna give this 4 stars.
Okay.
It's clear,
Okay.
just because it's so unique in its class. Now, Shelby.
I think the story and the uniqueness of it and the complex way they go about making it justify putting this on the top shelf.
Yeah.
It's unique enough that it's not something you're going to reach for every night anyway. So a good spot for it would be on the top shelf.
Yes, this is B1. It's a good conversation
Yes.
bottle. It's people, once you get them into the story, they're going to want to try a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And it's different. And just the rarity of its components does justify a top shelf.
And as
So-
a mezcal, I'll give it 5.
I agree. Just like when we gave Haku vodka 5 stars as a Japanese vodka. Hey, it's now technically there is another one out there, so we'll have to get into that. So this is an interesting one. Tony, if you were to see this, would you seek out a bottle of it?
Wouldn't be the first thing I'd look out for, but if I wanted something unique and different, I would definitely keep this in mind. But I would probably look for something else in the line to see how it compares to this.
I was going to say
before
the
I got
exact
this.
same thing. Is I would probably check out the other
Yeah.
mezcals in the Del Maguey just to see, because we have so little frame of reference.
Yeah.
that would be. But I got this recommended by a very good YouTuber. Shout out to Ralphie. He said that this is a good sipping mezcal for anybody that likes their single malts. And if you're a big fan of single malt, I could see how this would be a good mezcal because it's got smoky, minty. It's got a lot of elements of Scotch that
Yeah.
are given to you in a completely different way. But this
Definitely.
is fascinating stuff. So, Tony, anything you'd like to say to the people?
No.
As I'm known to say around here, folks. All that being said, this has been our review of Del Maguey 100% Tobala Mezcal. Probably one of the finest mezcals on the planet and definitely a connoisseur's connoisseur drink. So, folks, like, share, subscribe. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., signing off, handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Tony fucking G.
Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very special review of Gosling's Black Seal Bermuda Black Rum. Folks, this is a very interesting, very flavorful rum. Now, what a lot of folks don't know is this particular rum is one of the main ingredients for the official drink of Bermuda, which is a cocktail called a dark and stormy. There's a couple of different ways that you can make it dark and stormy, but the main important thing you need to realize is if it ain't Gosling's, it's not a dark and stormy. So you have to have Gosling's Black Bermuda rum in order for it to actually count. So let's, before we get into that, let's read the back here of this bottle. Rich, smooth, and full-bodied Black Seal rum is a unique blend by Gosling Brothers of Bermuda. The original recipe being a closely guarded family secret that has been handed down for over 4 generations. Originally called Old Rum, it was available only on drought out of oak barrels. Finally, after World War I, Black Seal was sold in champagne bottles, the most widely available bottle at the time. The cork was sealed with black sealing wax, hence the name Black Seal. So there you go, folks. Dark and stormy, Gosling Black and Seal rum and device are registered trademarks. So yes, a dark and stormy is even a trademark of Gosling, but it is also the official drink of Bermuda. And in case what you're wondering what a dark and stormy is, just one website says ingredients: 2 ounces Gosling Black Seal rum, ½ ounce lime juice, freshly squeezed, ginger beer to top, about 5 ounces, garnish with a lime wheel. So yeah, it requires ginger beer, some Goslings, and a little bit of lime juice, and you're off to the races with a marvelous, marvelous drink. But so let's take it up to our nose. goodness gracious, just thick molasses. Like I don't know how to describe it other than like I almost feel like I could drizzle this onto pancakes. It's just such thick molasses. And yeah, maybe a touch of toffee, but that's all you get is molasses. So folks, Sanjiva. Goodness, that's thick. And all you get is molasses. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's warm on the way down, even though it's just 80 proof. That is prototypical rum. I mean, that is just rum. That's a rum drinker's rum. So, folks, for those who don't know, we grade on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E Nation has advised you well. So, we're going to grade this as a rum. As a cask-aged spirit, it's shelving. And for those new to the show, the secret 4th question. So, as a rum, I am actually going to give this 3.75. This is a very, very prototypical rum. This is actually a good one. Like, I would recommend this one if you like something that's very powerful in its flavor. As you can see, I enjoy mixing it with fruit juice. You will taste it in the fruit juice. It doesn't matter what fruit juice you use, it will cut through it, but it works. As a cask-aged spirit, I'm going to go 3.5 stars as a cask-aged spirit because it's wonderful stuff, but that's a wide world of sports. But rum always does good because it's always just so sweet and just so easy and approachable. There you got some more flavors, like almost like the bark of a fruit tree. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like that, I know that sounds so strange, but like there's an oaky wood, but it's a fruit tree of some kind. So, marvelous. So yeah, cask age. I'm gonna stick with my rating there. Shelving. This is a middle shelf rum, bottom to middle shelf rum. I know it. I only have one rum that sits on my top shelf, and that is Ron Zacapa 23 Sistema Solera. But this is excellent stuff for just if you want to have an easy to drink cocktail that, just mix it with some fruit juice on the rocks and just chill. Okay, like you can do about anything with this. When this bottle runs empty, will I seek another one? Probably. It's good stuff. So, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for this impromptu review of Gosling's Bermuda Rum. God bless. Travel well. Catch you around, folks.
Smooths itself out.
Get back. Tell you what I'll do if I ever get back. I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost. We gotta take it down. Let you down slow. It's hard to survive. El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah. Let's see.
We have ourselves here an impromptu review here on Cinco de Mayo. Folks, this is Patron Añejo, 100% de agave, and this is a barrel select Añejo for the still in Lincoln, Nebraska, folks. So, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof, 100% de agave, pero de agave, tequila. Now, folks, unless it says 100% de agave, it will be responsible for the worst hangovers you've ever had. Okay? Jose Cuervo will be responsible for one of the worst hangovers, up there with like any beer recipe that replaced barley with rice. But I've been hanging on to this one since, gosh, I think before COVID. I have had this one for a while, and it's finally time. Ooh, that was good. That was pretty. That was pretty. And we pour it in the Nebraska Bourbon Society glass, because why not? Why not? Yeah, this is first time having Patron Añejo. Patron Estate Release is one of my favorite of all time. So let's see. Heavy vanilla. Like, it's overwhelming vanilla when it hits your nose. Then the agave nectar comes in. And the slightest candied apple. This one. Thick honeyed agave nectar with a slight hint of oak. Slightest berry on the back. Okay, that is gorgeous. Well, for those who don't know, we get to the fun part, the grading. And I'm going to grade this on a couple of 5-star scales. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. K.O.E Nation has advised you well. We're going to grade this as a tequila, as a mezcal, as a cask-aged spirit. It's shelving, and for those new, the secret, the question. So, as a tequila, I'm going to give this 3.75. This is delicious, but you can tell there's the oak really influenced this. It gave it a lot of vanilla, a lot of oak flavors that are just delightful. As a mezcal, just anything distilled from agave, I'm going to give this 4 stars. Excellent performance here again, Patron. As a cask-aged spirit, it's Añejo, so I'm going to give it 2 stars. It's, let's be frank, it's about 3 years, so 2 stars is probably fair considering the wide world of sports cask-aged spirit. It's shelving. I'm going to be honest, this is middle shelf tequila for me, which is kind of rare. Tony, you know how hard it is for tequila to break the bottom shelf for me. This one makes it. And the secret 5th question, when this bottle runs empty, will I seek another one? I paid $59 for this bottle, and I will never be able to find another one ever again so long as I shall live. So, folks, this is from the still here in Lincoln, Nebraska. God bless. Travel well. You have arrived at the K.O.E Nation.
Bandit, I'm gonna enjoy. You know what? I'm gonna enjoy this Blue Chair Bay banana cream rum. And you
It's
know
a
what,
Kenny
Phil?
Chesney goddamn drink. God damn,
It's
this
not
feels
Jason
good.
Aldean though. All right, here. I'm gonna go above and beyond because this is what I do. I'm gonna give you a review, Mr. Phil K.O.E. We already gave you one earlier, but I'm gonna give you another one. Here it is. Tony G reviewing this. And scene. Hello and welcome back to another fan-fucking-tastic review for the K.O.E Nation. Tonight I am going above and beyond. One of my favorite shooters, one of my favorite shots that I could possibly have in all the world. A Kenny Chesney dream, fever dream, if you will. Blue Chair Bay Banana Rum Cream. This stuff is delicious. And I actually have a
bottle, a big bottle of the Blue Chair Bay Key Lime Cream upstairs right now, chilling in the fridge, and that might be one of the most favorite things I've ever had on the rocks ever. But the banana rum cream was one of the first I'd tried from this line, and it's fucking fantastic. Look how creamy this bastard is. They also have a banana rum. It's a clear rum. This is the cream, so it's obviously creamy. Oh my god, it smells like bananas. Who would have thought? And cream. Holy shit. Crazy. Oh, that's marvelous. I'm going to top that shot back off now. As a shooter, I'm going to grade that 4.75 out of 5. It's so smooth. It's so delicious. Literally, I could do multiple of these in a row if I needed to. As a rum, it's not exactly a rum. It's more rum transcendent. So I'll give it a 3.5. There's plenty of rum in there, but not a traditionalist of rum. As a liqueur, I don't know. Maybe, kind of. 5. Fucking 5. That's what I give that. As shelving, if I was going to put it on my shelf with rum, cream, shooters, and just fun drinks alike, that's a top shelf fun drink. More of a middle. Nah, fuck it. This is going in the fridge because it needs to be chilled for your utmost enjoying experience. It needs to be chilled, or at least on ice. Would I seek this again? Fuck yes. Little bottle? Not enough. I need a big one. This is delicious stuff. And now, as much as I'm enjoying this, I'm going to have some more. Damn, that's good. Can't wait to have some more. Facts. Fucking facts. Thanks for joining me for my review of Blue Chair Bay Banana Rum Cream. Check us out again for the Key Lime Cream Rum review. Cha-ching. All right. That was fun.
Nice. Well, folks, that was all my current rum and tequila reviews here on the K.O.E Nation, which you can, of course, find at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. But, folks, since we're here together and since it is that time, we're going to do something a little interesting, a little unique, a little exclusive, since you're all here with me this evening. This is a bottle that I do need to finish off sooner rather than later. So I decided we're here, we're recording, we're all together in this beautiful evening. So without further ado, welcome one and all to the K.O.E Nation for this very special long time coming review of Castle and Key Weeded Bourbon. Folks, I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter-X, wherever great content can be found. Now, today we're going to get into Castle and Key. Tony and I did record a review for this, but unfortunately, there was a problem in the recording and we weren't able to use that footage. So that's why I say this one's been a long time coming. Castle and Key small batch weeded Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. 49% alcohol by volume, 98 proof, 750 milliliter, released in 2022. Honoring history and challenging tradition, Castle and Key restored the historic Old Taylor Distillery, erected in 1887, with a new vision and promise. The awakening of this legendary bourbon icon enables us to create captivating spirits and endearing memories. We craft our spirits with carefully selected grain and unique barrel regiment to thoughtfully produce distinct spirits to our exacting standards. Come raise a glass with us. Small batch weeded bourbon. Batch number 2, bottle 11237, years aged, rather. Yes, years aged, 5 years. Distilled and bottled by Castle and Key Distillery in Pike, Frankfort, Kentucky. Or is that McCracken Pike, Frankfort, Kentucky? God almighty. McCracken Pipe. I like it already. So, Castle and Key bourbon. Its bottle is lovely, I must say. Like, I'm sorry, this presents handsomely. The cork, it's a big synthetic cork, so you can really reuse this bottle after you're done. Like any synthetic cork, you can reuse it. I mean, even if you just fill it with water in case you're worried about that. Yeah, they're perfect for that. But this one just presents so handsomely. So I'm definitely going to keep this one around. So in case like a really nice bottle cracks, you can pour it in here and then just write on here what it is. Like, just get a black permanent marker and write whatever. So this is definitely a great backup bottle. So I have to say, on presentation alone, Castle and Key does get a thumbs up from the K.O.E Nation. But now, the more important part. Now I'm going to see if what I picked up from the original review comes through here. Because what I recall from the original review was Castle and Key's nose was very light. All you really caught on the nose was sugar cookie, and there was only a light dusted sugary sweetness on the palate. Tony was not all that impressed. I thought it was a marvelous mixer and a beautiful sipper. But let's see if after getting it past the shoulder, after getting it past the shoulder and seeing where we're at now, let's see if it's matured at all. Still a very subtle sweet, but there's almost a slight apple there now. So interesting. First, I gotta catch up with some comments here. Problem with Blue Chair Bays, that should be refrigerated. Tony isn't wrong with that review. We never got the key lime review. I actually have that edited. I just need to upload that yet. Castle and Key sounds like bougie pinky out whiskey. That's my crack pipe, Kentucky. Oh, okay. Okay. So we've got somebody with some firsthand knowledge here. All right, back to the whiskey. Very, very subtle nose. There's not much there. A slight dusted, sugary, light apple. But you're not smelling any ethanol, which is amazing. So, well, Slanjava. Everything I said on the nose comes through slightly. There's a peppery oak on the back. There's the beginnings. There's the beginnings of a chocolatey sweet that give way to that very oaky, leathery back. Interesting. This is one that I think probably gets a bad rap by some folks because the bottle's so beautiful. You're almost expecting William LaRue Weller to come out of the bottle, but this is a very good, sweet, approachable, wheated bourbon. Okay. Now, I can already taste on it. This is one of those bourbons where if you have like 9 guys for a poker game, like 3 guys is going to be their favorite whiskey in the world. Couple of guys are going to be like, and then the rest of them aren't going to really want it. It's going to be a crowd divider, okay? Some folks are going to love it. Some folks aren't. But I think if you know what you're getting into, you can definitely have some real good fun with this. I think if you mixed it with any kind of soda that was spicy, like, Barks root beer, eternally, always good with any kind of bourbon, but I would also say like Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb, those kinds could mix quite well with this. Now, for those who don't know, we now move on to the hardest part of this, the grading. And we grade here on a 5-star scale, 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil, 0 meaning pass it on by. The KOE Nation has advised you well. So we're going to grade this as a bourbon, as a whiskey, as a cask-aged spirit. It's shelving. And for those new to the show, the secret 5th question. So, as a bourbon, you don't get too many typical bourbon notes here. I mean, there's just no vanilla there. You do get oak, no caramel, because it's just kind of like a dusted, like powdered sugar with apple, but very light, very subtle. It's nothing is very, very intrusive on this palate. So that alone, quite interesting. So in terms of a bourbon, I am going to give this 3 stars. Okay. It's above the middle point of 2.5, but there's really not a lot of those prototypical bourbon notes that you would be looking for to just say, like, if you put this bottle down, say bourbon to someone who's never had it before. I feel like there's other bottles you'd reach for. Now, I'm going to be more generous in the whiskey because this is utterly cocktailable, incredibly approachable. So with that being said, I'm going to give it 3.75 as a whiskey because it works in that regard. It just does. Now, in terms of cask-aged spirit, it's been aged 5 years, and I appreciate the fact that they gave us that. I'm going to say 3.25 because I really feel like this just needs more time. That's really it. Like 6, 8 years, 10 year is going to be just that sugar cookie is going to really start to fill out at a 10 year. But we're going to have to wait some time for that, folks. But yeah, I think this one, there's potential here. There's a lot of potential with this particular batch. Now, we move on to the shelving. This is somewhere between your middle to bottom shelf, okay? Depending on which shelf whichever shelf is more lonely, has less bottles, that's where this would go. I know some people aren't a big fan of this. I think it's utterly approachable if you know what you got here, okay? In terms of would I seek this bottle when it runs empty, which is the secret 5th the secret 5th question is, when this bottle runs empty, will I seek another one? Well, I don't remember exactly what I paid for this bottle. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I'm going to put right here the general MSRP of a bottle of Castle and Key wheated bourbon. See that? Yeah, that is quite reasonable. All right. All right. Don't worry, folks. I'll edit that in postscript. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. But we now must answer this ultimate question. Would I replace this bottle when it comes time to empty it? No. No, I'm not going to replace this particular bottle. I'm going to see about some other wheated bourbons, perhaps from Castle and Key. I'm curious about other batches. I'm curious how they've come along. The bottles, though, are beautiful. So I'm probably going to check out some other Castle and Key releases because, I mean, these are just beautiful, regal, handsome in their presentation, and they make for great decanters once they're done. So I got to say, Castle and Key, you found a way to definitely get a sale with this particular bottle because it's just gorgeous in its presentation. But folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this has been my review of Castle and Key Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. God bless every last one of you. I hope all of you make it back here to the KOE Nation happy, healthy, much the wiser. You can, of course, find me at KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. God bless every last one of you. Travel well. Okay, got through that one with minimal, maximal stumbling of my words. But, folks, since we are there, I believe we're going to do something. I like the way I'm doing it now, where sure, when we end tonight's entertainment, I do a nice, lovely video to enjoy it. But folks, we have arrived at that time. And as, let's see. Oh. Yeah, Bandit, until you look up the price and it isn't that reasonable. That might be the case. That might be the case. It's like, It's like if they want like $70 and they're like, I don't know about that. But folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us here at the KOE Nation for this chill stream. Now, folks, this is not the end of the evening quite yet, because I'm going to leave you with something really fun to watch that was a good time with me and good friends. But folks, I hope all of you make it back here, hopefully tomorrow, for the KOE Nation Rye Whiskey Stream. We will see. We will see what we get into tomorrow. It all depends on when I get back from taking my daughter to go see Dune. So that is going to be what happens. It depends on what time we get in. I'd like to get home earlier and get started on that because, whoo, Nelly, do I have a rye whiskey tournament to share with all of you. But folks, what I'm going to share with you now this evening is a really fun time with me, Tony, Chicken's brother Lynn, and a good mutual friend of ours named Shane, where we got to review William LaRue Weller versus George T. Stagg. It was a delightful time with delightful good friends. I hope all of you make it back here to the KOE Nation. Happy, healthy, much the wiser. Raise a glass to yourselves. God bless every last one of you. You have arrived at the KOE Nation. Welcome, one and all, to the KOE Nation, folks, for a very long anticipated versus matchup, one that I've been wanting to wait for, being in a room with a bunch of very special folks to get into. I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE. You can, of course, find me at KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. And tonight, we are getting into...
Oh my God. The Antique Collection.
Stagg, Weller, two of
William
the finest.
LaRue Weller. George T. Stagg. A versus matchup of epic proportions.
So, gentlemen, I've been waiting for this occasion
Yes.
because these are the two heavy hitters of the Buffalo Trace
Very
Distillery.
heavy.
And we are going to get into them. In whiskey A is William LaRue Weller. For you, Lynn, it will be the whiskey on your left.
Okay.
And whiskey B is the venerated George T. Stagg.
Yes.
Hi. I got my Vagisil sticker on my
Yes.
We're good to go.
Thank goodness. I was worried.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get a shot of that.
Yeah.
There
Are you
it
ready
is.
for my
There it
close up?
Vagisil,
rock
on.
Vagisil.
All right, so, gentlemen,
The Antique Collection.
start your engines. We're going to decide which one's better once and for all of us together.
Hang on, as it breathes, the William LaRue Weller Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey is 62.65 ABV, 125.3 proof, limited edition.
So is Shane's on
Barrel.
the left as well?
Yes.
For
Now,
him.
on the right, the George T. Stagg, also Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, uncut, unfiltered, 69.35, 138.7 proof. There's a lot of text on the back of these bottles.
Read it.
We don't.
No. Let's.
We don't have the time. I'll be
Yeah,
frank.
yeah. Let's get the There's
a
the
lot
drinking,
there.
folks.
You read every
Whiskey
goddamn word.
A,
Left side whiskey, William LaRue Weller.
Weller.
Yep.
Okay.
This bottle.
This is the peak of the Weller line. Like Weller 107 that you had earlier
had
tonight
earlier.
that you liked.
Gonna make you with a well.
This is
for the very
the-
first time.
Yeah, this is the first time
This
he's ever.
is a
most
cheers.
tremendous Weller that there is.
I already know it's
Very
it's gonna
pleasant.
it's gonna
Oh
It's
my
gonna bite.
God.
It's gonna bite back, but it's delicious.
That
It's
nose
a
is
good nose.
So sexy.
I think it's gonna beat out Stag just because I know I think
We'll
it's
see.
gonna-
We'll
Oh.
We'll see. We'll see.
He's gonna predict that one.
Oh,
I'm gonna believe him.
A
oh.
little smooch there.
Down, boy.
That
Down,
wasn't
boy.
bad.
As soon as you get past that
That wasn't
burn,
bad. That wasn't bad.
That's
It's
the
like
burn.
a red fruit, cherry, raspberry, red
Oh my
fruits.
now you go right back in.
So I'm just gonna go down to like the last paragraph. William LaRue Weller also
As
believes
soon as your tongue stops burning,
in the
go back in.
importance of aging
My
his
tongue didn't
whiskey,
burn at all.
and to this day, Weller bourbon
did it.
continues
Fine.
to be aged longer than most. Combination of exceptional
I did.
aging and the use of wheat in the mash bill produce a whiskey with a very mature, rich, and exotic aroma. Its flavor has been described as full, evolving, and sophisticated with notes of vanilla, tea berry, and cinnamon.
T-Bear.
There you have
I
it.
got you, T-Berry.
And it's very
I'm
complex.
your Huckleberry.
It's very heavy. Again, 125 proof, but still pales in comparison to the one we'll be trying.
All right, George T. Stagg.
All right, I have a palate
Gents,
cleanser.
bring it in.
Hang on, I got a palate cleanse.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
I'm past that. It's too late in the night. I don't care.
Mm.
I've had enough whiskey.
Well, okay
You
then.
can,
Okay.
you can cleanse my palate all you want. It ain't gonna make a difference.
Cleanse it, Robbie. Cleanse it.
Now the Stag, which surprisingly has a more diluted nose.
Strange.
I agree.
Very
Can no longer
toffee.
smell it.
But
it's so strong as shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
god damn.
It's still
I-
warm.
Oh,
I've sniffed this fucking stag
whew.
far too many times tonight than what I ever wish to do. Ever.
Man.
Yeah, folks, this guy doesn't like George T. Stagg. Tell us what you
But-
think about that in the comments.
Oh.
Let me try it without sniffing it.
All right, do that. Do that.
It's been off leading. It's
Let
been
me
off.
sniff it without trying.
Sometimes it do be
Yeah.
like that.
Sniff it without trying it.
It do be.
It do be.
It do be like
be
that.
like
you would.
Right.
It do.
Oh, god damn. It's good, but it is strong.
It's heavy. It's fucking heavy, which I love.
It is a lot better this go than the last couple.
You're a lot more seasoned at this point.
Yep.
There you have it. So I'll just go down to the bottom on the back of the George T.
It
Stagg
warms the
bottle.
gullet.
The George T. Stagg Distillery continued in operation up and through Prohibition, one and only 4 such distilleries to remain open during that period, and the only one to survive to the present day. Now known as Buffalo Trace Distillery, our master distillers and aging warehouse managers have combined their extensive whiskey making experience to present this magnificent aged bourbon that George T. Stagg himself would have been proud to call his own, uncut, unfiltered, and of an age and quality that only more than 2 centuries of experience can bring. Buffalo Trace Distillery offers this bourbon as a testament to quality, tradition, and innovation, and to the struggle to persevere, prosper, when others may have failed.
All right, Phil. So what's the game plan here? How are we judging?
Just
this?
pick
We're going to
your
go
fave.
around the table, and each one of us is going to cast our vote. It's almost like a jury. Okay? Is it William LaRue Weller or George T. Stagg? Which one?
Go in on them.
If you were going to a deserted desert isle, if you're going to a deserted desert isle and you could only have one bottle of one of these two that you were going to be able to take with you, which one would it be? Okay, that is the question. So we're going to start with you, Lynn.
Incredible
I
option.
really, I don't want to come off as biased or one. Dude, I'm going to pick Weller. I don't want to. I don't want to, like disrespect Stagg at all. But it hits smoother. It's a little. They both kind of got a kick to it,
Oh, yeah.
but it's not
Both of
not as punchy as fucking Stagg's pretty punchy.
135 versus
Yeah.
125 proof.
And
Yeah,
it's
they're
like-
both heavy.
Yeah, like tonight, everybody's really been favoring 125 proof. That seems to be that magic number
I'm gonna
of
go
being
with Weller
heavy,
on this one.
but not too much. So,
Yeah.
chicken.
I don't think it was a secret to either of you two heading into this.
No.
I'm a big William LaRue Weller fan, and that rings true tonight. The beauty. This is quintessential. The best bourbon. It's high proof.
It's
It is
huge.
But not too
full
hot.
bodied.
It's pretty
It
goddamn
is
high.
it's a boner drink those. Like
It's a
every
brag.
time I drink this, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a brag bottle.
Lynn, you're my
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Look away. I'm gonna take a drink.
Don't look at my body.
He's gonna have himself a little
I'm
skedaddle.
gonna be honest. Just when I go between the two,
He's gonna
Swing!
knock his cup off the table.
Let's go this way. We'll
Yeah.
end with
As
you.
you
Yep.
put it up his-
All right, Shane.
Shane?
Good sir.
Chicken, let's go to Shane and get his input. 2
Well,
votes
let's
for
see.
Weller so far.
All right, so I've been giving this stag a 1 all night long. All night long.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta say this is the better of the two.
Wow.
My opinion.
Wow. This is a guy that has endured the 16 bourbon
So-
tournament of extreme, and now
Which one are you holding right now?
I'm holding B, which is
the
stag.
stag.
Look at the bottom of your.
It's B. Yeah, look
Yep.
at it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I thought it was.
No, he's got
I'm
it.
gonna pull
He's,
this.
he's got the right one.
But anyhow,
He's
Ugh.
wow.
so that being said, I have literally bitch slapped the shit out of my palate with
That's true.
multiple different
Yep.
Wow.
But no,
beverages.
it's an opinion, but it's also a measurement, and that's why we like bringing you in on this.
Yes, I mean, kudos to you.
So I this is the first time tonight that I've liked this
You're coming around.
in that.
You're developing the palate.
Um,
It's high proof, baby.
but yeah, I think I'm going to go with the stag on this one. So
Well,
So
that's my
you're
vote.
going to a deserted,
Wow.
uncharted
shot.
desert
It
isle.
It will likely start a fire too. So
I didn't
there's
expect
that.
this.
You know,
I
and it
did
can
not-
clean your wounds.
Yeah, you would do that.
139
After
It's a good end.
after the brothers West both picked William LaRue Weller, I thought we're gonna go to Shane and this is over. Your and I's input matters not now.
Now,
But this ringing endorsement from a man who has not enjoyed this bottle tonight, but has come around going, my God, there is more to the palate. This is why we do this. This is science, folks. So,
another go.
thus far,
Yeah,
it's
like,
2-1.
That good.
It's 2-1,
Yeah, I'm actually
and it's now on
enjoying this.
moi.
yeah.
It does have a
So
sweet aftertaste.
again,
I'll give it
the left Glencairn versus the right Glencairn. The left being the William LaRue
So
Weller is 125.3. The right being the George T. Stagg is 138.7.
That's a
Even
beast.
pretty hefty for
That is
my
an absolute
lofty
beast.
standards.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I suppose, yeah. I mean, if you're going to the uncharted desert isle, this has more alcohol by volume, but God Almighty, that's
Yes.
Okay, so you can't let it when you're pulling. You can't let it touch the front of your tongue.
so I'm
Hey,
for the sake
I
of being
touch everything
difficult.
with the front of my tongue.
oh, I know.
For the sake of being difficult,
Sweet ski.
Phil, just before I answer, how much money roughly would you say is sitting in front of us alone in these two cut to it
These are some
bottles?
prices
okay.
on-
In retail, about $400 between the two of them. Retail. But secondary value,
Double
this goes for about $1,600.
Quadruple that.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
goes for about $1,600 on the secondary market. This goes for, last I saw, about $950 to about $1,200.
But that's not what was paid here tonight.
No, I did not pay that for either of these bottles, but I've seen it on the internet go for those numbers, which is insane. To me, Tony, which one are you going to pick between these two?
So honestly, I came into this thinking for sure I'm picking the William LaRue Weller,
Oh, no.
but I've developed a
You
taste
son of a
tonight
biscuit.
for the George T. Stagg. I think it's only right that the brothers West both picked the William LaRue Weller, and the guy who did not like the George T. Stagg at all tonight has picked George T. Stagg. I'm going to agree, George T. Stagg, because I'm a proof snob. You've said it yourself. So now, ultimately, it does come down to the deciding factor. One Phil K.O.E. unfortunately has to pick between both of his ridiculously expensive antique Buffalo Trace collection
The
bottles.
tiebreaker.
You have to shit or get off the pot.
Let me get
It
my,
comes down to Phil
my Superman
K.O.E.
curl.
They're
right
his
in the shot.
bottles. He shall pick. I'm almost there with you.
Which one's your baby?
Do I dare?
I'm just trying to get to the even amount.
Okay, let me put it this way. Guys,
There it is.
if I went to a store
Let the Weller
and
stag.
I could only buy either William LaRue Weller or George T. Stagg, I
Pull
know.
it back in.
Insane.
For the same price.
Yeah, same price.
They're not though.
I
Well, I
know.
know,
They're
but-
not. Well, they were for me. They're actually
Sure.
both the exact same
Okay,
price.
which is amazing,
Um,
incredible.
Full free.
I wish.
I would buy William LaRue Weller first.
So is that what you're picking?
I'm
though?
picking. I gotta pick Weller.
Oh,
Sorry,
Based.
it's my favorite whiskey in
Bro.
all God's creation. It's even more, I like it even more than my
Man.
Dalmore's.
And still.
wow.
He
Okay,
understands.
and still.
Man. Okay,
I am super stoked.
I don't have much.
What do you
to
have
go.
there? What's in there?
Is that the Weller?
It's both.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That was.
I drank most of it.
I have a feeling it's going to taste
Oh,
really good.
fuck
burn the
you
shit out of your
guys.
tongue.
That is A plus.
Okay.
No,
Some
no,
Weller?
you,
Just try
Have
it.
my-
Just try it.
Have my blend.
You blend
here.
it?
I'll just no. It's
No.
the same blend. I'm just gonna top mine off a little.
That's
Okay.
Weller. This one's
A
Stagg.
plus.
No, I had mine
Let
leveled
me take
50-50.
a little
A plus.
snort.
A plus.
You're not gonna blend them, are you?
Mm-mm.
No, I didn't figure. Which is fair because the man owns both
Oh,
bottles.
Now you might. Yeah. Phil just
Wow,
Whoa.
that's huge. All right, I'm in. I've got my 50-50 blend. Hang on. Let's start with Lynn.
I didn't do a blend.
Oh,
I ended
well,
up-
good, then taste chickens.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Have a little sip.
As a
A
blend
little simple.
on an A to F scale, A plus being the best, F minus being dog shit. What do you give that blend? Betwixt the two.
Let me go and say I want to go with just A, not minus, not plus, just straight A.
Straight
Hey.
A. Let's
Straight
go
A.
to Shane, who
A plus over
flip
here.
flopped surprisingly to me and picked the Stag. I can't believe it.
Shane?
I didn't blend.
Alright.
Unfortunately.
Then he needs to
Here,
try
have
the
a simple.
blend.
Give him
Have
a,
a sip.
Try the blend.
I'll give him a blend.
All right. I almost
Oh
made
my
the
God.
mistake of smelling it. I'm not going to do that.
Holy God. Oh.
Is that a wow factor?
That was
Oh,
good.
Caramel
That
cherry
was
pie.
good.
Oh my God.
On a grade of A to F.
Yeah, like
Oh,
school.
man.
Just like school.
You were its teacher.
He had a healthy.
He
shot.
tried it. He went
That
for it.
was, I
He went
would
for
say probably an A minus.
Fuck. We made a believer out of this man tonight.
I'll
Don't
say
it?
A minus.
No, chicken, you go first.
Oh, I already.
Yeah, he said
I
it.
flat out said A plus. This is
So
my favorite
I'm gonna
blend.
go.
There's
Oh dear God. So you got 130 proof between the two. This is the antique collection. This is the pinnacle. This is a blend that no mere mortal should really honestly have the opportunity to do. And we just
No.
did it. And I'm turning my Glencairn
Nice.
over after drinking my blend
can-
50-50 of the two.
Can we just say this real quick? 99.9% of the human population
Will never get to do
never have not only never do this,
Yeah.
but never have either of them.
They'll never
alone
try them
blend
solo, yet let alone blend them.
Or just
That's
have
why
them
this
in the
is
same
special.
room.
That's why this is so
That's
special.
why I'm just enjoying this dram so much because
I'm giving this
happens.
this blend, this 50-50 blend of the antique collection of William LaRue Weller and George T. Stagg,
Shane,
an A plus
Plus.
the greatest blend of my life as the blend
We just
master.
we just made history, folks.
before we go to Phil, Shane and I were out looking at
Dear
my garden
God.
earlier tonight. And Phil, I said this on your podcast last
Oh.
week when you were showing the sunset.
My
And
God.
Shane and I got to watch the sunset
yeah. Last
disappear.
minute. It was
Yeah.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
one thing that so few people ever get to witness
Yes.
that is so common,
Not many have a
but
horizon.
it's so
for that.
magical all at the
Beautiful.
same time.
Beautiful.
That's what I compare this drink to.
Oh my
is
God.
that
Beautiful
moment,
sunset.
that moment where you get to see the sun
Oh.
within like 10 seconds
Yeah.
disappear over the horizon.
It happened that
I got
fast.
to share that with my good boy Shane.
Yeah,
It's an
absolutely.
experience.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, brother.
It's this is why I
And
get
now
up
we get to
early.
experience this all together. This is
They had
An
a
amazing
giant
drink.
no homo moment.
Phil,
It was kind of-
tell us your grading.
Tony,
It'd be a shame.
to even give it a B.
Right. It'd
Give it
be a
A minus.
travesty.
You might be a cunt.
Right.
What? I gave it an A minus.
Shakespearean tragedy at A.
Right.
A plus.
You're
Still underselling
it's-
it?
Yeah, underselling it.
Bam!
Bam!
A fucking plus plus,
Yes.
motherfucker.
Damn.
Yes. A
Damn.
plus plus. I don't know if I will ever have a blend as
You'll
good.
never, ever.
You
Because
don't
here's
think
the
you
other
ever
thing.
will?
No.
I don't know.
You're setting yourself up for failure
No,
with
because
that.
these are hands down.
Like,
I
how do you do that?
goddamn tea. The best two
This is
options.
the greatest.
There has
sip
to be,
of
though.
drink
There
I know,
has
but
to be.
you don't understand, Shane. The doctors might, like,
The-
when we're all old
Oh.
men, tell us all to quit drinking before we're able to
The
find a better
Buffalo
blend.
might happen,
but the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection is exclusive as fuck, and I know the other options. You've got Eagle Rare 17, which can't be that much better than regular Eagle Rare. I'm sorry. And you've got
Whoa, 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 whoa,
18
whoa.
Sazerac,
Hold on,
which
hold on,
can't
hold
be
on.
much better than
Hey,
regular
You
Sazerac.
said which can't be. That don't mean
Hey, Tony.
which isn't.
You need to look at something.
You know?
Yeah, he's like,
There-
yeah,
there-
you
there's
gotta
room.
use the English
There's room.
language
Glass.
there, bruh.
There's
Oh,
room.
he have no hesitation there.
Look,
It
Sazerac
could be.
Rye,
It might be
disappointing.
better. You don't need
Eagle Rare, highly overrated.
Yes,
Horribly
but-
overrated.
These two, all the Weller line, this is your pinnacle. All the Stag Juniors, this is your pinnacle. This is the best blend you can imagine out of the Buffalo Trace line. Am I crazy?
is
Dude,
Sparta!
I'll tell you how I look
hands
at it.
down the best bourbon
Look at it.
in the world.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you.
This is
So-
some of the best bourbon.
No,
No,
it's
here's
literally-
the thing.
Like I can never give 100% review on anything because if I do, I'm setting myself up for failure.
Sure,
because
sure.
I'm, there's
such
more.
a
Nothing
neophyte.
venture, nothing gain.
But no, like,
You-
trust
you
us when
have
we
to
say
No, no, no.
you were brought
You
in
have
on
to
an,
keep looking.
an
To be
exclusive.
fair,
Here's the problem.
That's all.
We just took a virgin.
this guy likes
And-
Jack
and-
Daniels on
What
Coke,
what happens when you're
Yeah, I
a
do.
young man
I do.
and,
and
you
we've
meet-
given him the
and
antique
you
collection.
date a supermodel on your first date?
Yeah, there's
What?
that.
That's
You're gonna get a
that's-
little picky.
That's
Yeah.
what happened with Shane. Is
Sorry, Shane.
It was unfair. We did
we
throw
took a
you in the
virgin,
deep end.
We took a virgin,
We tied a cinder block to your feet and,
and
threw
you
you in
got
the
to
deep
spend
end.
a whole day with a supermodel.
Yeah,
Like,
No,
holy fuck.
no.
But all right, so
But that's a fair
gentlemen,
analogy.
gentlemen,
Fair analogy.
That is not
Let's
a
be
fair
frank
analogy.
here.
It actually
as
is.
I'm known to
Shane's
say
like, I'm not a virgin.
around
No.
here,
Fuck me.
all that being said, thank you for joining us here at the KOE Nation for this very special versus matchup with some very special folks. Gentlemen, thanks for making this possible. God bless every last one of you. I
So-
hope all of you make it back to the KOE Nation happy, healthy, much the wiser. Anything you'd like to say, T?
I'm just like, is it 6 total models in the antique collection? You've got the WLW, you got the George T. Stagg, you got the Eagle Rare 17,
You got the 10, the 17.
the Sazerac 18.
Yeah.
What?
Sazerac 17
You got the
and a
Pappy.
Thomas Handy Rye,
Handy. Okay.
which I've
So it's
actually
fine.
had a chance at that,
You
but I
did,
turned
and
it
I told
down.
him, I'm like, Phil, you're not even that big of a Rye fan.
Yeah.
So
Well,
don't.
yeah. No, it would be entered in the next Rye
Because it's
tournament, but we'll
probably
see.
not that much better than the Saz.
So,
We
folks,
need to get all 5.
If we can get all 5, and we can have that blend, that will literally be one of those blends that is like once in a lifetime.
That
But
might be the only blend
Like you
that
said.
beats this blend.
Whoa,
Like
whoa,
you said,
I
nothing
don't
else
think it'll
can
even
beat
beat
it
it.
because it's an A plus 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 plus.
this is
Nothing can beat it.
This is
No,
my
I don't
favorite
think
blend of all
anything
time. This is a blend.
Shane, I will add a plus to your plus,
Yes.
plus,
Plus,
motherfucker.
You just added a
This
plus to your
motherfucker
plus.
over here spitting.
That might be 3
Shane,
pluses.
you just
Right.
explained the flaw of
My
Dave
God.
Meltzer's entire career.
You
But
just explained why we need voter registration for political voting.
Oh,
Wow.
okay, we're going.
so yeah, we're getting on the deep end here.
Yeah,
so
let's
folks,
get out of
it's
here,
the show so nice
No
I had to
politics.
outro it
That's why we
twice.
need voter
God
registration.
bless every last one of you. Tony, Chicken, Lynn, Shane, thank you for making this possible. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you, brother. This is a good time. It's good drinks. Skeet skeet. Love you.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you.
Hell yeah, brother.
Till Van Halen.
Tony, Shane,
Tony Shane, take it away.
Shane came around tonight.
the Blues Brothers.
Tony was like like seagulls over here. He was going down. No. I appreciate you guys getting me involved in this. I really do.
This is fun.
It opens up your world, doesn't it?
Well, I don't venture much from my own playing field. I don't
You like what you like, and you like what you like. I get it.
Yeah, I found things I like. I found things I don't like, and that's where it's at.
I like what I like, and I like what I don't
Nothing
like.
ventured, nothing gained.
Tony, anything you'd like to say to the folks?
No, I mean, Jesus, it's the antique collection. It's Buffalo Trace. This is like, it's presentation wise, you're looking at bottles that are in the bourbon community sought after and just praised like they are wines from a forgotten ship that crashed and drowned one year. Yeah, here we are enjoying both of them and blending them and picking which one we like the most. This is an incredible achievement. This is an incredible opportunity. And we thank you, Phil K.O.E. at the K.O.E. Nation, for giving us this opportunity to do so. And I cannot praise you enough for this opportunity, this experience. And it's amazing. It's splendid.
I feel like I should be doing like the Roman Emperor thing. Am I not kind? Am I not generous? Yes.
You are highly generous. Yes.
Come, Thessalonians. We will see if we can finally bring Gaul to its knees.
This is
let them eat cock. Oh, wait.
Right here. Chicken, the cock.
Boy, he's pink.
So, folks, God bless every last one of you. Travel well.
Yeah.
God bless us, everyone.
God bless you,
us,
everyone. Okay, yeah, you can.
That's a good end.
Yeah,
that's a good end.